for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. From the capital city of the United States of America, Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
So, I put up a post this week on BJJ Wiki. Most times, I don't pay attention to what I'm posting. I do, but I don't. You know, it's like sometimes I'm just in a rush. I just throw a post. I do that with Colompton too. I just see it's like, oh, words, funny picture, funny video, post. And then sometimes people get pissed. I don't know why people get pissed. It's like, don't fucking follow. If you don't like it, don't follow. Why are you angry? Why do people got big emotions?
A lot of people get mad or trolled.
Well, yeah. Well, so the trolls for Colompton get mad because they can't comment because they're fucking stupid. Read. It's fundamental.
It's wild how many posts are going like just crazy. Like every second there's a like.
Yeah, I honestly, anytime I go on there, it'll say like, oh, you have this many comments to answer to, you know, like new comments. But the fucking things are just going, so I can't find them, and I'm not going to go look for them. And it's probably a troll that figured it out. I was like, no, I'm going to go troll them. I was like, all right, have fun. So on BJJ Wiki, I put up a post. It was a picture of the Jolly Green Giant, and it says, vegans doing vegan shit. And then there's a picture of the Hulk smashing stuff, says, vegans doing jiu-jitsu. These motherfuckers lost their minds. Like, it's all out war in that comment section right now. Like, you got vegans going at the fucking, you know, bros, and the bros going at the vegans. I'm just like, what? Like, y'all just want to argue. Y'all don't, like, some dude's like, well, the brain requires creatine because if you don't have creatine, I mean, it's proven that, you know, vegans aren't, you know, if you're not getting enough creatine for your brain, you're like getting dumber, almost to the point of mental retardation. I was like, well, I don't know if that's completely accurate. There may be some science to it, but I don't think people are getting retarded from fucking, you know, not eating meat. But, you know, that is part of like the whole evolution thing, I guess. Like, we ate some meat and then we got smarter. So
yeah, creatine is found in meat, but it's kind of hard to get from meat, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why it's, again, that's the only supplement I like is creatine that I've felt works and is actually worth doing. And remember there was all that belief of like maybe it caused some deaths.
Creatine?
Way back in the day, like some high school football players, but it turned out to be like dehydration.
Oh yeah.
Like there's really not really too much bad side effects from creatine besides it can like cramp your stomach a little bit.
That makes sense.
If you drink it on an empty stomach. I think if you drink most anything on an empty stomach, it doesn't feel great.
I think if you do coke on an empty stomach, you'll be all right though. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just assuming you'll be okay. I mean,
sniff it.
You can try it.
So where does it end up, I guess?
In your nose.
Yeah. And where's it go?
I don't know. In your body. I don't know. I don't know.
Why does it go?
Because
why
I don't do
it?
coke. All right.
Can you eat it?
Yeah.
Why don't people eat it?
I don't think it's delicious. I think it like numbs your fucking.
I mean,
mouth,
it's got to taste really, really bad if you can eat it and have the same effect, but you'd rather sniff it up your nose.
I think that's a big part of me not wanting to do drugs. I don't like things in my nose. That's
the only thing that you sniff up your nose, really, right?
I guess.
I mean, we learned in Pulp Fiction you can snort heroin and things don't work out well.
Well, I think she thought it was coke.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can sniff it.
Okay, yeah, it was like, nah, they didn't go right.
Because other than that, I don't know of anything else you can sniff.
I don't know.
Smelling salts?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Have you ever done that? I've never done that.
No, I'm not into it.
Have you tried it?
No.
I just saw on like one of the podcasts I listened to, like it's a silly podcast, but they did it just to try it. And,
Yeah,
I mean, their reaction was like, "Dang, is it really that intense?"
I have
They
no
say it
interest
smells
in
like
it.
urine, but that initial shocks of like their faces, I'm like, what?
I'll be alright.
I'm curious.
I mean, we can go get some, and you can try it. I'll watch you. I'm not into it. I have no
All right, I'm
interest.
gonna try it.
I'm not
If you
interested.
come across one, bring it in.
I'm not interested in a lot of drugs.
Well, that's not a drug, right?
No, but I'm also just not interested in smelling salts.
The NFL players be doing that on the side.
They do a lot of things. They were doing steroids at
That's
one point.
kind of wild, though. If you need to have smelling salts as a professional athlete on the sideline, like,
I mean,
what?
if
You bored of the game?
I mean, well, no. If you get fucking knocked silly,
No, but some of them just do it.
they've
They
got
think
a
it's
problem.
like an advantage.
They've got a problem.
I'd be on the Marshawn Lynch thing, shot and a half of Henny before the game.
Yo, that interview with Peyton Manning is great.
I think if you are a running back, that makes complete sense. You got
Yeah.
because it's almost like, and I can volleyball. There's like a little level of like a drink or two, kind of does like loosen your body up. Like if you have the arthritis stuff, pain goes away. I'm sure that's why the Hennessy. It was funny though when Peyton was like, "A shot of what? Gatorade?"
he's
And Marshawn was like,
he's like Hennessy. Like, what
Like-
the fuck you think?
"Oh, that I think I talked about it on here before. I've never had Hennessy.
You know, had Hennessy.
I don't believe so.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I've had Hennessy here, and you've had some Hennessy. Like, maybe not.
I don't think so.
No, I haven't had. Guess we'll get some for next week.
Yeah, I want some Hennessy.
Like,
I gotta see what this is about.
it's not about nothing. It's fine.
I imagine it's sweet.
It's like
Is it like a
Remy
Grand
Martin.
Marnier?
Remy Martin,
Oh,
and I mean it's fine. It's I don't know, just fuck off.
This beer is not bad.
It's not terrible. It's not. It's not my go to. It's not my game, but it's not hateful for sure. I wouldn't buy
I
it.
feel like this is the best one of. This is a Scotch ale. We've had a few. I feel like this is the best tasting one.
Hey, let me pause real quick. I got a one championship on in the background. Bouchetta is about to fight, and I gotta watch this dude fight. I love this dude. Like he transitioned over from a lot of guys moved from jiu-jitsu to MMA, and him moving over was a big deal, especially going to one. Just like Gary Tonin, last time we watched an event. So, I'm just waiting for the fucking fight to start before I pause this.
lights?
I don't know. They're in fucking Asia somewhere, so I don't know what Asians do. Yeah,
I
lights.
guess they have glow sticks.
Maybe. They like I don't know where they're at in Asia. They always say South Asia. I'm like, that's really vague. Dicks. So I'm going to pause for a second real quick while this fight is on. And then we'll be back. And then I'll tell you what happened and we're going to get back to our shenanigans. All right, we're back. Bouchetta was getting his face pounded because he kept pulling guard. I was getting sick of watching it. So it's still on in the third round. He got worked in the first. The second, it's arguable because he did get mount and he dropped some bombs, but it went back to business as usual. Here he is again with another. Oh, he got the back. Oh boy. He got the back with hooks in too. So, there's that. But either way, wherever the fuck I was before we left, yeah. Motherfuckers arguing on the interwebs and what else? There's some other shit. I don't know.
You want to review this?
Yeah.
Because I'd finished mine.
I didn't finish mine, but I can do it. But yeah, we're good. Let's go ahead.
It's called Dirty Bastard by Founders Brewing Company, Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's a Scotch ale. We've done a few of these. I feel like this is one of my favorite ones of this style of beer. Tastes kind of like a sweet Guinness to me. What would you say? It's so good it's wrong. That's what they describe their beer as.
Relax.
Dark ruby in color with 7 varieties of imported malts, which would explain the sweetness. hints of smoke and peat, because we know what that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
One day I want to be like, yeah, I taste peat, smoked peat in there.
I would just say that shit. I'm gonna say that shit at Thanksgiving when they make the turkey.
This has apparently a malty richness with a right hook of hot power to give it the bad attitude of a beer named Dirty Bastard. That should have said "Ol" in front of it.
I think they would have got sued.
But yeah, 8.5%.
That's not hateful. Some would even say it's pretty friendly.
It's funny is the type of beer is a Scotch ale we've done, but I've never seen this. A Scotch ale / wee heavy with 2 E's.
Okay, so 8.5. It's not my cup of tea personally. I'm gonna go 6.8. I would drink it for sure. I'm not buying this, but it's okay. It's decent, just not decent.
0.75. I liked it.
That's
Maybe
fair.
these are growing on me. This style,
Possible.
but I like. Yeah, this one I think was one of the better ones. It actually was rated really high online.
So, I agree with you that it is one of the better ones that we've had of this style. I'm still not crazy about it though. So
yeah, I think this was
personally, like, I mean, again, I'm sure it is a fucking great beer for its style and what it is.
Well, you got to go for what you like to feel.
But this, like, because I mean, based off of how I look at it, is like I would drink this if you hand this to me at a party. If I'm at a bar and you get around and this is part, is one of the drinks, that's cool. But if you says to me, I walk into a store and I'm buying, that ain't gonna be one of them. So, there is always that. So yeah, there we have it. It's enjoyable, but not Dante friendly. Enjoyable. So I helped my cousin Tracy move last week. His girlfriend or wife or baby mama, his significant other.
All of the above?
Yeah. Well, so they always post on Facebook husband and wife, but I know that they're not legally married. And that kind of bugs me. It shouldn't, but it bugs me when people are like, oh, my husband or my wife. And I was like, bitch, you didn't get married. But it shouldn't bother me, but it does for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I shouldn't care. I care about
Isn't there a certain amount of time where if you live together, technically,
yeah,
like if something were to happen, you separate, you could claim
sort
of like you're married.
Common law marriage, which, I mean, it varies from state to state. I think Maryland, I've heard it's 7 years. Some places it's 13. I don't know.
I think in Alabama, you got to be related.
Oh, that was perfect. But yeah, so I went to help them because her grandma was moving. So my cousin sends me pictures of what they're all moving. It looks like, oh, easy peasy. We should be done with this in like 2 hours. Nope. It was a full work day. Now, I did get paid handsomely for my time, and I appreciate that. It bought me quite a few drugs this week, and guess what? Very close to an OD. It's all right, though. I'm here, right? But, so we load up the heavy stuff first. Take it over to the storage unit. Now we come back, and there's this dining room table that we can't take apart. It's not heavy, it's more awkward. So, like, okay, what are we going to do? All right. So we figure it out. We get out the door. We get it to the stairs. We are struggling with our grips to get it down the stairs, but, all the same, we can get it down the stairs. Now, as we're working to get down the stairs, 2 gentlemen, kind of motion for us to get out the way. Here, we'll do it. Like, okay. All right, whatever. So they moved the table to the truck. It's like, fair enough. Not my shit. Do it. So then we start going to the house and carrying, grabbing boxes. Because really all that's left is boxes anyway. So as we're coming up with boxes, they like come over to us, take the boxes out of our hands. They're carrying the boxes. Like, okay, I see what this is. All right, well, fuck it. Go ahead. Do what you do, son. Like, at this point, my body hurts. I'm tired. I'm like sweat dripping down like every fucking pore out of my body. I'm not happy about this shit. I was like, fucking let these cats do it. So at some point I'd stop, because I was carrying stuff. It was like I'd sit down on the truck. And mind you, these motherfuckers are doing this shit in flip-flops. That shit was wild to see these cats. No, in slides. And I'm like thinking like, yo, what is going on here? So I take a seat on the back of the truck at one point, and one of the guys comes over. He says, "You tired?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm tired." So I'm old as fuck. I want a nap. He goes, "Do you speak French?" I was like, "No." Like I made it very clear, no, not at all. Then I counted in Spanish to let him know how good my French is. And then, like, he looks at the other guy and starts laughing. And, we get back to work. Now, later on again, take a seat, and the guy, he's trying to basically talk to me a little bit. Like, we have no money. I was like, okay, that sucks. Neither do I. I get what you're, it's like, I get what you're hinting at. Guess what? I ain't got no money neither. I'm helping someone else move. I don't know how much of that he understood, but guess what? I ain't got no money, homie. So, as, I get back in the apartment to grab some more stuff, Tracy's girlfriend comes over to me and goes, her grandmother, they're Vietnamese. I don't know. Winter kept saying I was saying it wrong, and I don't know if I was saying it right or wrong. I don't care. They from Vietnam. And she goes, my grandma's asking, do you think 20 for each of them is good? And I was like, I guess. I don't know. They volunteered. We didn't ask them. So they're lucky they're getting anything, to be quite honest. And I wasn't trying to be a dick about it, but it's like, nah, we would have been fine doing the work ourselves. But whatever. So, we go sit back down, and that's not a fight. So the black dude that was fighting, that wasn't a good look. He was like laying on the canvas. He couldn't get in there. Like, yeah,
about to pass out.
They're like, that dude is fatigued. So
he's about to fall down.
Oh yeah, no, they just had to pull him up off the ground. He was in a bad spot. Like, that's not a good look. You don't look like you won. Like, he definitely won the fight, but you don't look like it.
How are you feeling, my friend?
Fucking tired. Yo, that's some Derek Lewis
you might
shit.
Need to carry me back to the.
That's some Derek Lewis shit. My balls was hot. So basically, I sit back down and they're talking, and then I was like, look, the lady inside, she should take care of you. You should be fine. We got you covered with something. Now, at this point, I wasn't actually expecting to get paid myself. I honestly was just doing it kind of as like, look, my cousin asked me, and I said, I got you, cuz. So we get everything kind of loaded up, and then there's this deep freezer or whatever the fuck, like fucking standalone freezers. She had one of those, and it's full of food, which was wild. It's like, why not empty that? But I guess the food would go bad if you did. So this was the moment where I decided, oh, these motherfuckers been helping the whole time. They're about to continue to help. So I flagged them into the apartment. I was like, hey, que pasa? Que pasa? Not French. Not at all. I learned that on South Park from Cartman. He's probably the wrong person to learn anything from because he's a bad guy. But either way, I called them into the house. I point to the freezer and they're like, they look like, okay, we got still in their slides. Actually, no, they kicked their shoes off upon entering the apartment because I think Americans just walk all over shit. Like, people from other countries like, kick your shoes off. So they come over, they start fucking around with the freezer, and we put it on the dolly. They get it down the stairs, cool in the gang. Now that tired them out, so now we're all sitting there again. Now, prior to that, though, I saw the grandma hand them something, which I assume was the money, because they put their hands in their pockets. And then she said something. I'm pretty sure she knows that they don't speak Vietnamese or Vietnam, whatever their language is. And I'm pretty sure they understand that she does not speak French. But they communicated all the same. So we're sitting, after they put the freezer up on the truck, and they again say, no money. Now Tracy at this point is involved. He goes, "Oh, hold on." So he calls his girlfriend, and I was like, "Yeah, like kind of going back and forth about the money thing." I was like, "Huh, I'm pretty sure they got paid." I was like, "I'm pretty sure they got money." I was like, "I don't know." So I go back in, and that was confirmed that they did get paid, but they're still kind of looking at us like, "Hey, like we want more." And now at this point, I just got paid handsomely, mind you, and part of me wanted to share because
How much y'all get paid? 20? Oh, I got 300.
something like that. So,
Sucks for you guys.
but I wanted to share because it's like, look, they did help. They did a lot of work on that second run. Not as much as we did on the first run, though. But the fact that they then said they didn't get paid and tried to hustle now made me angry. I don't want to share. So then I had to consult my wife. I was like, check this out. I was like, these Haitian dudes. She was like, because I always say Nigerians and Haitians interchangeable to me. So these Haitian dudes showed up and they started helping us. And, blah, blah, blah. They expected money. She was like, why? I was like, well, because they did provide their time. She goes, yeah, they volunteered their time. You didn't ask them, did you? I was like, no, actually. As a matter of fact, they took the boxes out of my hand and started moving shit for me. I was like, no, they shouldn't get anything.
That's like the squeegee guys. They try to do that shit before you even acknowledge them and then expect to get paid.
And then Sarah was like, I don't know what their culture is like at home, but if you just start doing something for someone, you don't know that they have money. I think they just assume, oh, Americans, they all have money. Got some bad news for you, buddy. No, we don't. We don't at all. But it was wild just because, like, as we're all done now, they're, like, sitting at the base of the stairs, kind of looking like, posturing. And I was like, yep, just keep moving. Keep moving. And I was the last one. Like, I'm the caboose of the line because there's, 4 of us. I'm sorry. And we're walking. I was like, man. Sucks. I get where they're coming from, but also too, again, you can't just assume motherfuckers got money. Like, they did have money because we got paid. They got paid too. They got $20 each. It's better than just $20 for the both of them.
So that reminded me, I watched this movie. I think it was called Get a Job. I had that dude from Top Gun, the son.
Miles Teller.
I don't know his name, but
That's his name. That's his name.
But
put some respect on it.
There was a scene in a strip club that reminded me of you. I just have this one memory of mine foamed up too. So that's wild that yours foamed up. God damn.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
Yo, you got like 3 millimeters of beer and
I don't think I got that much beer. Like, I got nothing.
This
but
might
foam.
be, you literally have the worst amount of foam I've ever seen in a beer. And that's the second pour. So
That's
mine was
wild.
pretty bad, but
That's aggressive.
yeah.
This is already teetering towards a 2.
I remember we went to a strip club.
Yeah.
And Sarah was there.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
then-
think I know what you're talking about because
And you had a little bit of money, and then you spent it, and there was no more, and you just continued to sit at the bar, and this girl did her little show.
Yeah.
Basically, they give you like a little, they play with themselves a little bit, and then they pull out their thing, and you were just like, I guess, I don't have any more. She's like, well, you shouldn't be sitting at the bar. And you were just like,
fuck her. Like, well, and that's the thing. It's funny because I was actually just thinking about that earlier this week for some reason. But fuck her though.
but you were kind of like, kind of like shaking your head. Then when she did the money thing, you're like,
Like, what you gonna do?
like, I don't have any more.
Check me, son. What's up?
They're all gone. It's like, looky. It's like, but
Yeah, I
paid to
remember
get
she
in this
said
strip
that.
club.
She said, looky. I think she said like naughty boy, no looky or some bullshit like that. It's like, man, get the fuck out my face, girl. Like, I'm paying for your college. Fuck out of here. But you know, I actually don't like strip clubs. I think they're fucking dumb. I get it, but they're dumb.
Nah, I mean, I think maybe there's a slight appeal when you're 18.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, when you're young, because it's like, oh my God, I was never able to do this. Now I can. I want to go see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah, I've never been like super, like never turned on at the strip club because one, you're sitting with more dudes and girls.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it almost feels like, I mean, you're just watching a show. Like,
So,
I will say the strippers smell amazing. I always like the perfume.
oh yeah. Yeah, that's part of the game though, dude. Because that
You
perfume
leave
will
with
do
like
something.
glitter on your face.
Get you a little drunk and they smell good. It's like, I mean, maybe I do want to go back to the champagne room. Maybe I do want to go talk.
I'll never forget the night shift. So that was when we were 18. We could go, and I looked young. You remember, I looked young for my age. And I'll never forget, like the stripper. Again, they would come from person to person. They do a little show for $1, and when this lady came, she took off my hat. It was like rubbing on herself.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, at first, like, ugh, that hat's dirty as shit.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's like, and when she get back, I was like, oh, my hat smells good now. You clean. But then I had glitter all over my hat. But then I was like, she said, you look like my son's friend. I was like, that's a wild thing to say.
Oh shit! Like, what the fuck, yo?
I should have been like, what is his name? Maybe I know him.
Like, oh, it's probably my twin. Like Charles had said this years ago, obviously, because he's no longer with us, but years ago before his passing, because he was like, yo, I hate the strip club. Because Mario loved the strip club. And Charles was like, I hate the strip club. He was like, because all it is a bunch of bitches getting your dick hard, and you can't jerk off right there. Like I may as well just sit at home and watch porn. And I was like, oh my God, that shit makes so much sense, dude. Like, he would always say like these weird things, but it made sense. And I was like, oh wow. Like, I never thought of it that way. So, and after that, I was like, I think I'm done with strip clubs too. Like, I'd go to the block with Mario because there's this, the regular bar down there, Midway. You just go there and fuck with the crackheads. Like, that was always a treat. Like, especially when Troy was there. Because Troy would always fuck with the crackheads. And it was fun to see. Because Troy's a big dude. So the crackheads aren't going to fuck with Troy back. Because it's like, he's a big dude. Like, the thing is, Troy's harmless. He's a sweetheart. But they don't know that. It's like, they just think, oh, that dude will kill me. And it's like, maybe, but probably not. He's a nice guy. But for all I know, he probably would kill him. I don't know. But, yeah, I like... using that logic, thinking back to the strip clubs, and I was like, yeah, it was kind of fucking dumb. Like, I'd much rather just watch some porn at home because I can choose what I want to watch. I'm at the strip club, it's just some broad up there dancing around.
Yeah, and she's literally going from dude to dude to dude. And it is funny how some people are super like desperate and like think they're flirting with them. Like, it was clear to me, like.
Yes, Mario.
That
is their job, Mario. Yeah. They don't really like.
Oh, that freaking other strip club that didn't technically show nudity, the Millstream.
Yeah, the Millstream.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no names, but I went there with multiple people, and they thought the girls were flirting with them. I'm just like,
no, that's their job.
That's their job.
So okay. Well, I'm definitely not gonna put any names here, but I have a friend whose daughter is a dancer at the Millstream. And it's wild to even think that because, like, man, I remember her as a little kid. No, like, no, you can't do that. And it's like, well, I mean, you as a grown ass woman, you're like in your mid-20s now.
To me, also, that was like the worst strip clubs.
Like, yeah, tassels on the nipples.
First off, yeah, why would I want to go? I'm not, again, just like you said, I'm not a big fan of the strip club. Like, you're spending money for nothing, really.
Yeah.
And
overpriced drinks.
Shitty beer. Yeah. I remember night shift would have like the best beer you could get was Foster's. I think it was bring your own beer.
Yeah, you could bring your own beer too. Yeah.
And then it became a bar again.
Because I remember one of the times we did bring our own beer.
I think when we were 18 it was bring your own. But then it became a bar again. But yeah, like they had Foster's was like the best value for your money because it was big.
Yeah.
And Foster's is a shitty beer.
I've never had a situation where I had a Foster's and was like, this is good. It was always like, and it always tastes different each time. That's what was wild to me. It's like, how's this beer taste different every time?
Think about it. I don't think I've seen a Foster's in a liquor store anymore.
Didn't we review Foster's?
We did,
So
but I now that I think about it, because
you just found it.
I've not seen a Foster's though since then.
Oh, speaking of Australia,
Maybe Foster's is done, because remember a lot of the right when we coincidentally did the 40-ounce episode. No, I remember because Timmy T even texted me. He was like, a lot of these got discontinued, so we made it just in time for a lot of the 40 type beers.
Perfect. I got a package from Australia today. Off the Mats provides me many connections around the world, and I had a friend that I had on the podcast. She sent me some Tim Tams, and a sketch that she did of Sophie. So it was really, really kind of her to do that. And Sarah and Sophie were super excited about the Tim Tams. I'm not sure what Tim Tams are, but I did keep one to the side for myself. I will try one. But yeah, shout out to Australia. Good for them guys and gals over there.
Shout out Crocodile Dundee.
That's
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
That's highly offensive. It's highly offensive. We don't refer to Paul Hogan over there. Okay.
Identify.
Don't disrespect them. Hey, we got aliens now. Like, for real. It's weird because only here in the U.S. do we have the aliens. Hey, no one else in the world. Brazil's got some aliens, apparently. Only Brazil and the U.S. got aliens now.
I believe there's probably somewhere. I mean, when you hear, again, conspiracy theories, I mean, we're told there's all these other planets. We don't really know.
Space
I'm
is
sure
fake.
there's life somewhere, if that's all true.
I'm sure.
But I don't think we're ever going to see it. Like, I don't think they're going to travel here. Because that'd be wild. Like, why would you travel here?
I feel like they would go, if they have the technology to travel, I think we're the least of their concerns, because it's like, what, like, these motherfuckers can barely get to the moon again.
But they can get here. They're so far advanced. Like, they're going to look at us
like we're a bunch of fucking apes.
you know, I think they just pass over us. Like,
Yeah.
Nah.
Well,
they've barely figured out how to get to the moon.
I honestly think they would be fascinated with us, like we are fascinated with animals on our planet, like chimp empire, you know, or just fucking watching National Geographic or Shark Week. We're fucking fascinated with that shit.
What?
I bet you they have Earth Week and they be watching us.
So have you seen like the new, like AI is a big thing right now. And people have been putting some wild stuff online of AI creating something. And one was like Joe Rogan. They're creating conversations with Joe Rogan and the guests, and AI is predicting what they would say. And probably pretty accurate. But I was like, what if we're AI? Like, God was like, let me see what happens if I just throw some people on a planet.
Okay. So.
And then we're just like, he's just watching us laughing. Like, what are they going to do?
So I'm glad you brought that up, because
we're like a TV show to him.
That brings me to my movie of the week that I watch. I don't have it on the board because I honestly didn't feel like I was really watching shit anyway, and I didn't think I've been watching a lot of shit, but I didn't think about it. I watched Guardians Volume 3 yesterday. It was entertaining. I didn't hate it at all. As a matter of fact, I rather enjoyed it. But the one thing that really, really stood out to me was the High Evolutionary creating Counter Earth. And it just kind of fucking off and going to do some other shit. And Counter Earth basically became what we are here on Earth. And I says to Sarah's like, I mean, I've always thought that's what happened. God was just like, oh, wow, like we've got these things. Let's make it. And he was like, oh, I'm fucking bored. Time to move on.
That's what I picture is like God. And I don't know if I believe in God or not, but I've pictured this a lot. Like God was like, I'm going to give these creatures free will. Let's see what they do.
Yeah.
And then they create this like weird things to go to war for. And he's probably sitting there like, that's weird.
He was like, oh my God.
Like, I provided y'all everything you needed to live, but y'all want to fight each other for it?
So honestly, I think Albert Einstein And then Oppenheimer. Yeah, let's go Oppenheimer since, you know, he made the bomb and shit. I think Oppenheimer was God's rocket raccoon to the high evolutionary. You know, because like Rocket like figured the shit out, and like the high evolutionary was like, "What? Like you figured that shit out? I created you." And I bet you that's how God was with Oppenheimer. It was like, "Oh my God." Like,
Guys sitting there watching. Like,
what the
when,
fuck?
like, Hitler was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's like Hitler's like doing all his shit. He's like, okay, that seems about right. That's kind of crazy, but that's about right. And then Oppenheimer comes along. He's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I understand you guys are mad, but relax. Bring it down a notch, bitch. But,
It's like,
and then there's
sitting there
also,
watching the stock market. What the fuck is this shit?
he's like, motherfucker with money.
This shit's not even real. It just makes people money.
He's like, just all types of monies and shit. He's like, what the fuck? Like, he's like, oh my God. Like, back with Noah in his ark, you know, if that's even a thing, he was probably like looking around, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Just flood this shit. Just flood it. Fuck them. And then this motherfucker made a boat, like saved all the animals except for kangaroos, apparently. Because that's apparently a big question. It's like, you know, where are the kangaroos? They're like, oh yeah, they didn't have kangaroos there. Huh. I kind of find that there's some holes in the story then, I think. Like a lot of holes in the story, but whatever. Like, but there was a Noah's Ark kind of element there as well when, you know, they saved all the kids and Rocket's like, we got to save everybody. And then you got all the animals running. And I was like, oh, I look at her, I was like, huh, look at that, another Bible undertone, Noah's Ark. That's cute. She was like, what are you saying? I was like, I just feel like there's some religious undertones here. And I'm not saying they're trying to be QAnon or nothing, but it you know, there's something I at least perceived. And a lot of shit's open to interpretation. Oh, I love seeing women fight. Just because they be getting, like, they're mean. They're mean
These
to
girls
each
are
other.
skinny as hell.
Yeah, because
Compared to the last fighter.
Well, yeah, because they're girls. I don't think they got like female heavyweights fighting.
Yeah, but these are much skinnier than
They're probably 115, fighting in the 115 division or the 105.
So I mean, I don't see as many fights as you, so I'm used to like seeing the championship fights on UFC. These girls are skinny as hell.
Well, UFC has some skinny champions as well. Fucking relax. Don't just assume
Yeah,
all the
this
UFC
isn't-
fighters are fat.
Oh, not fat.
I
These
feel
are,
like you call them
These
fat.
are abnormally skinny.
Ronda's a healthy
Like you
young
said,
lady.
115. That's light.
So yeah, well, no, Invicta used to have the atom weight division, which was 105, and I thought that shit was bananas. To even, it's like, how, why do you have
This dude's
this?
just staring at her, not saying nothing.
Yeah, yo, Asia be wild, son. Like, yo, they be doing some wild shit. Like, I don't even know. No, I remember Claudia Gadea when she fought. Who's it? Joanna Jędrzejczyk the first time, and like she's sitting there in the corner, and the cornerman is talking to her, and you see her just pull the front of her pants open and pour water down there. And that shit still cracks me up because it's like she looked up like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, I don't think the coaches told her that was going to happen, but hey, she fought through the next round and did well. So maybe pour some more fucking water on your snatch, bitch. Maybe it needed to be clean. I don't fucking know.
What's the? I don't know why that made me think of. What's the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he has a fight?
All
when
of them.
he's dancing. He has this one dance scene
yes,
that's like it's so cringy. Just
Dude,
the way
that
he's
shit
dancing.
is great. Don't hate.
I mean, he
Don't
ends
hate
up
it,
doing
though.
a split punch.
Was that kickboxer? It's either Bloodsport.
I think it was Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
First off, his dance moves are horrendous.
Yeah, his dance moves are tight, son. Do not hate, son.
But he ends up doing the split
I'm going to
punch in the
study
balls.
those moves, and I'm going to learn them, and I'm going to make it happen everywhere I go now, because it is amazing. And then I'm going to learn that split. I'm not. Fuck that split, yo. I used to be able to do a split like that, not full.
I
like
do
that.
remember you doing a split. That shit was shocking.
Like, fuck y'all.
I remember it was like right in front of Leo's house in that carport.
Like, I
He
mean,
busted out a split. I was like, what the fuck? God damn.
Like I'm a man of many talents. It's a weird talent, but whatever. But yeah, so we got aliens. Fuck them.
They're laughing at us.
I honestly, it's just weird because it's like all this shit that's going on. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, we got aliens. It's like,
Can you imagine the aliens come here? Like, why do we want to go to war with them? Because they're kind of like at war with themselves for no reason.
It's like they're like the aliens just show like we're the number one military in the universe. Like, you motherfuckers are not ranked. We have no reason to destroy you, but we will. And honestly, maybe we deserve it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just
Yeah, I can't imagine like another
QAnon.
world would have like I said, the freaking stock market like we have. Like, yo, this shit's just made up.
I mean,
We
honestly,
got numbers going up and down. No one even knows where they come from.
motherfuckers probably, out on other planets just using the barter system. Like, hey man, I could braid hair. Can you bake a pie? Yeah. All right, hook it up.
Yeah, maybe they don't even have a money system. This is like people farming and shit.
Yeah. Look, man, DuckTales taught me this shit a long time ago. Like, when the episode of Island of Tra-La-La, when I saw that shit, I understood from that point on, I have no interest in money. Like, I care about money because I have to. But if you told me tomorrow we're done with this shit, just use the barter system, figure out life, I'd be like, I will. I don't have any skills. I don't know how to do shit at all. Like, if you said to me, what are your talents? I don't have any. I can be really, really nice to people. That's my best talent.
I'm really good at watching porn.
I wouldn't say I'm good at watching porn at all. Like,
Well, you are. You have a
I wouldn't
you have
say
a system that
well,
people don't have. Like, you open your window.
that doesn't mean that I'm good at it. Like,
Oh, so you think you're bad at it?
I mean, I don't know what's good or bad at fucking watching porn. I jerk off.
I mean, what's your completion percentage?
Oh no, I fucking finish every time.
100%.
Son.
So there you go. So I
But
think you're good at it.
who's not finishing when they're watching porn? Oh my
Oh,
god.
there's probably some people.
Oh my god.
The people
Like,
that overdo it and they need some help.
no, that's not a thing. You know how many times I jerk off a day? Like, there's no need
Well,
for
see,
help.
I think you might be ahead. You're 40 years old.
Like 45. But no. I mean, now I need to do a poll. Like we'll find out what's the percentage of people who aren't completing their jerk off routine. Like, who's not fucking busting it up during
the
fucking porn?
cocks, like we said.
No, I think they are though, in a weird way. Cause like you'll have the videos where like, the dude's wife is getting fucking rammed and he's jerking off in the corner. It's like, I just don't see, like, that's weird to me. And I'm like, I can't be. First off, why the camera keep panning to this dude? I don't want to watch this dude. I'm trying to watch his wife get blasted. Number one, but number two, it's like, yo, what the fuck, dude? What is wrong with humans? That's what, like, aliens would come down and look at that and be like, yo, what? Like, so this dude wants to watch some other dude fuck his wife.
That's what you see that.
And then
That was a big story with the Adam 12 dude.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I didn't know he was like that, by the way. I don't know how I didn't come across that. Like, because I think when he comes across in my feed, it's him doing an interview, and I was kind of like, what I had seen of him, I was like, oh, this dude knows hip hop a little bit. He tends to have good interviews. I don't know how I didn't know he was in freaking porn movies. And
Well, I
his
mean-
wife was as well, and they were like, I guess he has some other podcast where they just start hooking up. I was like, I didn't realize all that.
Damn, he's that old?
But it was like big news of like, I guess he let his wife do some porn star who's huge, and he had come out kind of saying some shit of like, I know she hadn't had anyone like me.
Let's see here. Let me get some more information here on Adam 22. All right. So yep, definitely letting his wife get fucking blasted. All right, that's a weird thing to me. But if some dude said, "Look, man, I want you to fuck my wife," I'd probably like, "Well, are you gonna be there?" Like, well, I'd like to see it. That's kind of the point. And I was like, "Can you just videotape it? Can you, like, record it?" Like, I'd prefer to be in the room. It's like, well, it's not like it's like loaning someone your toys, right? Like, I'm not gonna break your toy because it's your toy. I'm going to take care of it, so you don't need to be in the room to watch me play with it. But you can make a video to watch it. It's the best comparison I can give you. Like, for how I would be as a cuckold porn fucker person, the bull. So I don't know. We like away from that topic. That was dude, that was so last week. But no,
we're way above all this.
like, yeah, dude. I'm like,
we got Alien. We went from Alien straight to that.
That's what I'm saying. Aliens would look at us and be like, what? Like, just fucking bomb them. Like, this is what they do at their time. They just watch each other fuck.
Wait, so they have enough food. Like, everything they could want is attainable. But they have this weird system where only some people get everything.
Yeah, but that's the goofy thing about it.
Wait, these people work a whole bunch of hours to be able to afford a purse?
Like, yeah, it's like, oh, so
wait,
you mean
that purse costs $10,000?
You mean to tell me there are all these abandoned homes and all these people without homes? Like, why? Huh? Weird systems they got there. Just bomb them all. Yeah, I think if aliens are out there and let's say aliens just decide to stop by, we're like, look, we here. Let's talk this out. Dude, it'd be wild because there'd be so many people like, look, please can I join you? Fuck these humans. And I don't know how I would feel about that. I'm like, yo, son, chill. We don't know. Yo, God, don't do this, dude. They might harvest your organs and shit, son. They might use they might use our organs as fuel.
Yeah, the other thing I've had a weird thought of is God has created multiple worlds and he's seeing how different they evolve. Like, we have money. Just say another world doesn't even do anything similar to that at all. Like,
but I bet you that world also ain't got airplanes.
That shit's wild too. Like, we figured out a way how to get to the other parts of the world.
So I bet you that's something.
That was pretty impressive. God was probably like, oh, that was pretty good.
Yo, he was like, these monkeys are lit.
He was like, I'll give you that. That was pretty smart.
He like tuned in. He was like, let me see what my favorite monkeys are doing this week.
Created the PS5. Oh, I see. Yeah, that was pretty clever.
Like, okay. So it's like, okay, they got this thing called a PlayStation, and there's 5 of them. Like, huh.
I was like, why are they always going to McDonald's, though?
It's like, I mean, I provided them with all the healthy options, but they
out of all the food, that's the one that has 1 billion served.
It's delicious. Like, I mean, there's something to it, dude. I think there's crack in the food, and that's okay if there is. I like crack. It's good. It's tasty, apparently, especially in fries.
No, wait. Oh, crack.
Yeah,
because we're like, you told me Coke's not tasty earlier. No, that's why you sniff it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fucking know. This is my guess. I don't do Coke, dude.
Well, I'm just wondering why is that the only drug you sniff?
I don't know. I mean, you probably sniff some other drugs, but that's the one that we know you sniff. I mean, but we don't know what people do behind closed doors, apparently. Like, I mean, other than, like, watch dudes fuck their wives.
And I don't even know the science of sniffing it. Where does it go?
Into your bloodstream.
Right. But why can't you eat it?
Because it tastes yucky.
That can't be the reason. There's gotta be
it is. Like, let's go get some Coke and, like, try it.
We're gonna eat ours with a spoon.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's what they did. Cocaine Bear, when the kids got a hold of Coke, and the one kid was trying to be cool. Was like, I do this all the time, and then he takes a spoonful of Coke and eats it. It didn't go well for him, but I mean,
maybe there's a reason though.
I wish the bear would have eaten that kid. I feel like that's horrible to say. But sometimes there's a kid that you just see and you feel like they should get eaten by a kid, like a fucking bear. Like when they killed that fucking gorilla up in Cincinnati, Harambe. I personally feel like, the kids in the enclosure, let nature sort it out at that point. Like why we got to kill the gorilla? It's fucked up, man. And you know what? The world hasn't been right since. After that gorilla died, COVID, Trump, QAnon, it's just downward spiral. We're fucked, dude. We need to get that gorilla back. Franken gorilla.
Cocaine gorilla. I feel like gorillas on cocaine would be more interesting.
Would it? I think, oh my God, chimps on cocaine? Talk about a fucking nightmare. Holy shit. But I'd watch it. From a distance. Far, far away. I don't want to be near. Chimps are fucking monsters, off cocaine. So imagine them on cocaine.
That's what I mean. That would be
Be fascinating.
They would take over the world, I think.
No,
if there was enough of them. Because we have guns.
Well, look. There's
What
this
was
movie.
that movie? What was the movie?
Oh.
It's Nope.
What about...
With the scene of the...
Yeah. That was the scariest part of the movie.
That was freaking scary, though.
I told Sarah, I was like, I think Sophie could watch Nope. She was like, not the monkey part. I was like, well, yeah, that's the scariest part of the movie. Trust me, I closed my eyes too. You think I'm gonna let my kid watch that part? But the rest of the movie is fine. But that monkey scene,
Nope.
Nope. I think that was one of the first words Sophie could read. So when she would see it pop up on her, she was like, oh, nope. It was like, yep.
Nope.
Yep. But there's the newer Planet of the Apes movies with James Franco. Well, he's in one of them. He wasn't in the other ones. I mean, that's actually a good run of movies. I think the fourth one is coming out in 2025, and I'm completely interested in it. But it's kind of hey, what happens if the monkeys get smart? Well, that's what happens. But the thing is, it was why are they not shooting them? I mean, they were shooting them, but it's
if the monkeys got as smart as us, we'd be done because they're 10 times stronger than us.
Oh yeah, we'd be fucked. I mean, imagine if dolphins had opposable thumbs.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, exactly. We'd be fucked. Dolphins are rapey too. So dolphins would just come up here on fucking dry land and rape people and open jars. Makes total sense.
I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it. I think there's people that do stuff with dolphins.
Yeah, there was that lady who was jerking the dolphins off.
It's
that was the only way she'd get them to cooperate was to jerk them off. It's I feel like you got played, lady.
We went off the rails.
We're off the rails, dude. That's this podcast. There's hardly any ever.
That would be a good name. Off the rails. You got off the mat, so we got off the rails.
I mean, I wish you would have thought of it sooner. But we're 116 episodes in. It's a little late for another fucking name change. We're not going for a fourth name change, Steve. Although that does give me the idea to make a fourth podcast now. Want to be my co-host?
Well, I mean, we built up followers, and then you do a rebrand. It's kind of like a relaunch.
Yeah. Fuck, fuck it. Let's do it. Oh, shit. I keep forgetting the computer's over here. Dummy. Oh, shit. This just in. So, my phone is on silent during recording, as should yours as well. But I got this watch now. It buzzes when I get text messages, and I don't really fucking appreciate it, except for this post here. I just got a text message from my friend Matt. For some reason, we call him Bean. I don't call him Bean anymore. I just call him Matt because we're grown-ups. But people still call him Bean. It's it's really fucking dumb. His name is Matthew. So Matthew sent me a text that says, Japanese porn star drowns in semen while filming bukkake scene. And let me tell you, wow. Is this like that Little Kim thing where she had to get her stomach pumped apparently? And I'm not going to ever Google to find out if that's true or not. Because I just live with the idea that it might be true. But it might not be true. But either way, this young lady, she died doing what she loves.
I guess.
Don't do this.
I have no
do not besmirch her.
Watching what that kind of movie.
Yeah, I'm not really into fucking facials. It's I don't know. To me, it's just
But also that many dudes. Imagine the smell.
There is a tragic There is a tragic sense of grief today as Japan's adult movie industry is mourning over the loss of a popular actress who died in an accident while shooting a scene for an upcoming film. Shooting, get it?
Wait, Japan's like mourning?
I guess. I
This
mean,
feels like a big deal. Like,
probably.
she's gonna be like memorialized.
Because look, over here in the U.S., we're prudes, yo. Like we don't celebrate our porn stars how we should. We should be celebrating all the porn stars, I think, because they are getting fucked to entertain us. Oh, speaking of which, that is actually something that's on the board, Up and Comers. So there was a porn series back in the day called Up and Comers, and that's where Jenna Jameson debuted. And I was thinking about this shit earlier. Yeah, it was Up and Comers number 40. My grandfather had it, and I remember watching it over and over and over once I realized who it was. I was like, oh my God. Dude, I fucking blasted to that at least 30 times.
Back then was when they only had, there was very few people because the internet wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now it's like everybody's. That's what I kind of hate about OnlyFans. It's like everybody's a fucking porn star now. And it's like, your porn's not even that good. It's like, you're trying to be professional. Your shit is trash. Your setup is trash.
I don't know if you heard about the freaking Island Boys. That shit's disgusting.
I'm not sure.
You know who they are, right?
Yes, I'm
Apparently, they started OnlyFans were like making out with each other.
Okay, now I'm done with them.
Yeah,
I was never with them, but
yeah.
like, I'm done with this
It's
story.
disgusting. Like they need to like. Now it's like it's so disgusting what they're doing now.
Fucking dummies. But yeah, Up and Comers number 4 was Jenna Jameson with Ed Powers, and I can't remember the other dude's name. Was it Randy West?
Ed Powers.
Let me.
What a creepy guy that guy was.
Don't hate.
Man, he had a ponytail, right?
Yeah.
He looked like Danny DeVito a little
Ed
bit.
Powers. No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He was taller.
He didn't look like Danny DeVito.
He did not look like any girl had any interest in him.
Oh, I know they didn't. Let's see here. Ed Powers. Let me see. Let me pull you up, buddy. That's not that. Oh, that was. Let's see. Is an American porno. Yep, that's our guy. Let's see here. Ed Powers. I feel like the other guy was Randy West. There you go. Ed Powers. You can never forget
Like
that
he
guy.
looks like a wrestling manager.
Yeah, no shit. And I think the other guy was Randy West, but he had Randy West I think had Up and Comers. I think Ed Powers had New Dirty Debutantes. I know this because again I like porn, but I started thinking about like because Jenna, she gets into she told her story I think on Howard Stern maybe how she was 17, she had braces and she was like trying to be a stripper. So she had her brother like pull her braces out. Like it was wild. But like I was thinking, it was like how does that even become a thing? I know like obviously, how you become a porn star is like you might need some money. So go fuck. Or you might have daddy issues. So you go fuck. But then I start thinking it's like, I wonder if you had someone get on the set and then like they just weren't good at fucking. And it's like, yo, you don't have enough practice, yo. You need to go back to the fucking minor leagues. Meaning just go get a boyfriend and fuck. And then come back when you're a little bit better at it. I'm not sure. I'm just always curious as to how this shit. Oh, it was Randy West. I fucking knew it. Ed Powers and Randy West. Like, see, I remember things. And fuck y'all. Like, I'm just saying, it's like, I remember shit, and I'm excited that I remember these motherfuckers, like, because they was fucking all the broads. I mean, not because the broads wanted to fuck them, but it was because, hey, we'll be your big break, and they weren't.
Well, that made me, I did want to talk about streaming.
Porn?
No.
Oh.
Streaming, like, the movie services and Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Is how it ruined, I think it kind of ruined the music industry a little bit. And it's now ruining the movie industry because now everyone's on strike. It's partly due because there's less people going out to movies.
Yeah.
The streaming services are probably not charging enough in a way for how much, people are watching. Yeah, like for example, I think Snoop Dogg went viral this week with music. He's like, I got this many streams I don't understand how I'm only getting this much money. Something's not added up. We need to figure this out. But I was like, unfortunately for the music industry, that's the only way you're going to make money now. Because
Yeah.
you could pay whatever it is, $10 a month for Spotify, which might sound high to some people, but it literally
is.
gives you every single song in the world. And you can play any single song in the world you want.
I pay $7.99 on Amazon. I get the same service.
Right. But the point is, you can stream now.
The point is,
Where-
I can get it cheaper.
You used to buy a $20 CD. Sometimes they went down to $9.99.
Well, they eventually went down to $9.99, but yeah, there was a moment where it was like $15 to $20.
So just imagine $10. And Snoop Dogg was talking about this. Like, you sell 3 million copies, $9. You make half of that. It would be this amount of money. These streaming. And I was just like, the streaming, unfortunately, that's the way the technology is. So now you're never going to have artists, I think, make as much as they used to. But with the streaming, I think one perk of it is it goes forever. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, certain songs probably doing quite well a year. But I think I looked it up one time of what you get per stream, like an artist. And I was just curious. So like a big hit song, but back in the day, probably makes like $100,000 a year, which might not sound like a lot. But I was like, you making $100,000 a year from a song that came out friggin' years ago,
Well,
every
yeah.
year probably.
Yeah.
So I mean, 30 years that adds up.
I think
That's just one song.
I think there's a thing to that though too with people's their logic. You know, it's like I think another part of it though too is like I don't want to say greed, but there is kind of an overvalue of oneself. It's like, well, this is my property.
And it's kind of like the running back thing. Of,
Yep.
they think they. So I had an argument with my brother the other day, and he was kind of like, they need to put a rule in that running backs should make a minimum of this. I was like, but why? If there's running backs willing to play for less, why do you have to force it? It's market and value. If they're valuable, they get paid. And then I actually looked it up after the argument. I was like, oh, all of the star running backs are actually getting paid. They're making $10 million a year.
Yeah.
That's freaking good money.
They're fine.
I was like, no one's making bad money. I was like, even some of the lower tier running backs are making a few million a year. I was like, it's not as bad as the media is making it seem. And it's more so the star running back is not getting paid on another deal. Like Zeke Elliott, no one wants him right now. Dalvin Cook, no one really wants him either. You know why? Because they're past their prime. And running backs have a short career life, but you don't just pay them extra because of that. It's like, if they're good and they're valuable, like Christian McCaffrey, you'll make good money. If you're average or you get hurt a lot, why would a team want to pay? Why would they have to be forced to pay you?
Yeah.
Like, yo, you spent, like the whole Saquon Barkley. He ended up getting a deal 1 year, but it's like, dude, you missed the whole year. Like, do we want to pay you like a ton of money? Like, we didn't. We could pay you a ton of money. Guess what? We didn't even make the playoffs. So, is that where we want to spend our money? Because you had a good year. We paid you last year. We still didn't make the playoffs.
I thought they barely
Maybe
squeaked
they
in.
lost out.
I think they squeaked in, and then
Either way, they didn't. They weren't a true contender.
Wait a minute. I think they beat the Cowboys though. Didn't they get in beat the Cowboys?
I mean, if the Cowboys played anyone, they lost. I'm confident in that.
Well,
But the point is, like, all
Yeah.
right, here's a big one. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Who was their running back? Yeah, exactly. Nobody knows. It was that guy with, I remember his name. It's a weird name.
Yeah,
and
something
they had
like the
Edwards
P.
Hilaire got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody even knows this dude. You don't need a running back to win a Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, again, when you kind of go back to the whole Giants thing right now, I mean, you know, Daniel Jones got paid. You know, they paid Saquon. It's like, who are you throwing the ball to? Like,
Yeah, but like elite and even receivers. If you're an average receiver, you're getting not that great money. your elite receiver like Tyreek Hill, dude could take a 5-yard pass and turn it into a touchdown.
He could take a negative 5-yard pass.
He's going to get paid because he's valuable. But a running back aging is not valuable. There shouldn't be a rule you have to pay them. Like, they don't have to play.
No.
Like, and if they were so desired, they'll get the money. Like, if this dude is going to help me win, then there's going to be a reason you pay him. It's market and demand. But people are like trying to compare Justin Tucker's salary to some running backs. I'm like, but you're comparing it to backup running backs. And you're comparing it to the best kicker of all time.
Yeah. It's like he's the best at his position of all time. Yes, pay him. I mean, like, I was just talking.
That's valuable. Like, you got a kicker that friggin' makes 95% of his kicks?
Well, I was just talking to Manuel about this yesterday. Like, we recorded. We were talking about fantasy football. So he's in. Just to kind of get that out the way there. But, you know, we're talking about, like, you know, how the draft goes. And, like, last year was the first time he did a fantasy football league at all, period. And he was like, I fucking loved it. Like, I'm obsessed. I was like, I told you it's fun. So, you know, but I was kind of telling him how, like, in leagues in our past, you know, where our defenses were kind of stacked a little heavier to give them more value. So most people are like, oh, well, defenses are for the last round. I was like, I mean, I don't know, dude. Because last year, if it wasn't for my defenses, I would have probably not won any games. I had Buffalo's defense scoring 23 to like 30 points for me.
Yeah, back when we had CBS too, we were able to say that you could have two defenses. Like, the wild card was anything but a quarterback. So you could have two, and almost everyone was doing two defenses back then.
Well, because also the points were stacked different too for our defenses.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's better the way it is now, but also it helps the fact you can only have one defense.
Yeah. But someone's like, you know, the way it kind of breaks down now, like sometimes I'll take Tucker out of spite. I don't even want Tucker. But I'll take Tucker just to be spiteful because I know there's tons of Ravens fans in our league. So it's like I do it out of spite. And then I think it might have been last year where
he went really early.
So I think Christina took him.
Yeah, it's always one of those two.
Well, one year I took him. Like, I took him in the 4th round one year, just out of spite, because I knew she was going for him in the 5th or 6th. I was like, I'm gonna take him in the 4th just to be a dick about it. But she had to drop him last year because of the bye week, and I was like, fuck it,
never have two kickers.
I was like, fuck it, I will take a 0 just to pick up Tucker to spite her, not because I dislike her. She's a wonderful human, wonderful person. One of the nicest people I ever met, but she's a Ravens fan.
I can't remember what round it was, but she picked him super early.
4th.
It's like
he
wasn't even the best kicker.
She always takes him like 4th or 5th round.
I'd be surprised if he was in the top 5.
She always takes him. He was top 3. He was in the top 5 because I had him. He was number 3. But there was a point though where I was looking because I think the number like 1 through 5 are all like separated by so many points, and it was like, you know, they're all like close, they're neck and neck. So I looked at it, I was like I should drop him to pick up, like, you know, this guy who I think he was like number 6, but he was only like maybe 7 points off from him. I was like, I should just drop him just to be a dick about it. But also too, it's like, I mean, he's doing well enough for him. But I think the Ravens at the end of the year, I think he was kind of, he wasn't hitting like those like fucking home run kicks that he was hitting because the Ravens weren't really putting him in position, but he was getting, like, you know, all the extra points and shit. So it's kind of like, all right, well, I'll just keep him just because what if I drop him and then he fucking goes off for like a 15 or 20 point game?
And even if you got the best kicker though, it's so close. So I just pulled it up. So Tucker was number 2.
Oh.
Averaged 8.4 points a game.
Yeah. Well, because like he had those big games, but then he had a lot of like 4-point games.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just go all the way to 30.
Wow, relax.
30 was.
We could have went to 15.
Let me do. I want to sort it by points per game because this is sorted by points total and people missed games.
Gotcha. Okay. Oof.
Oh, this.
Get your life
There we
together.
go. Now it's sorted. So points per game. Tucker was 5th, but there was a few kickers that played like one game.
Oh yeah.
So 5th, but let's just go down to 30. So at 5th, he's 8.4 points. This is why you don't pick a kicker though. Matt Gay, he used to be the Lions quarterback, right? I mean, not as a quarterback, kicker. Wasn't he on the Lions?
For the Lions, no.
Oh, I thought he was, but he was on the Rams. 30th, 6.8. So from the top kicker to 30th, you're saving 1 point. One point, 1.5, whatever.
I think a few of those years though too, for them taking Justin Tucker, it was kind of that thought of like he's the only thing the Ravens have, so we may as well get him. Like,
no, I understand it, but it's like,
but
just to let you know what you did last year, you scored 1 more point a game from the 30th kicker.
but to be fair, the chances of him scoring 15 to 18 points are a lot higher.
Well, it's weird. The kickers, you almost have to, not necessarily the best kicker. You almost want a team that kind of sputters in the red zone and has to settle for field goals.
That's why Detroit was always a good pickup when you would get Jason Hansen.
So you want a high-scoring offense, but you don't want them too good where they score a touchdown.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Detroit was like, for years, they couldn't get a touchdown, but they always got field goals. So it was like, okay, let's go ahead and take whoever Detroit has as their kicker. I know I'm going to get my points off the kicker at least.
So, yeah, maybe the best kicker, though, will be the best offense that has the worst red zone.
Maybe. I'm feeling like the Patriots will fit that bill. I think they're going to be just good enough to get into the field goal range.
Yeah, Bill's still refusing to get some skill position guys.
That's my point.
Dalvin's still available. But see, if Dalvin goes there, I'm not drafting. Patriot running backs are the worst because
I had their running back.
Stevenson was a beast, but every once in a while, Bill for no reason will just start the other guy, and he'll get 30 carries a game, and Stevenson get 1.
I mean,
just to spite him.
All it takes is
if any Patriot running back fumbles early in the game,
you're fucked.
You're getting 0 for the game.
You're fucked. I mean, I bet you Stevenson probably sneezed in one of the fucking meetings. He was like, "Yeah, he's splitting carries this week." It's like, yo, fucking relax, dude. Like, why are you this way?
Patriot running backs are the hardest to predict.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, like when I was talking with Manuel about it, we were talking about how the draft breaks down. It's like, I mean, honestly, receivers are kind of the end thing right now because running backs is so hard to
It always
really
was
predict.
running back in the days of LaDainian Tomlinson and Sean Alexander.
Like
now it's like you can do it to get your elite running back, but they don't score many points.
Well, that's also the thing too. I mean, how many running backs are really the only one carrying the load?
Yeah, now it's the question of the trade-off. Like, all right, you can get one of the elite running backs, but is that going to be better than 2 of the elite receivers?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, and I feel like,
and do you want, also the running backs are more injury prone?
I feel like also the receivers, if you get 2 elite receivers, you have a higher likelihood of consistency as far as like double-digit scores, whereas especially with like points per reception or half a point per reception, whereas running backs, I mean, it's like okay.
Yeah, now running backs are too specialized.
Yeah.
You got your pass catching running back. You got how are you going to predict what? What's his name? Your dude, Detroit's old Swift.
Oh, Swift,
on Philly, because
what the
there
fuck's
was
he gonna
something
do?
that came out with Philly today, and it was with Brown, the receiver, and which he had a monster year of Philly, but he was just like. They were like, how's, the offensive Swift? And they're like, now we got another receiver. And he was like, I mean, I hope he gets more carries because he was like joking, like he's going to take our catches because he's good receiving running back.
Yeah.
It's just like they still got the other running backs. Like you can't predict running backs anymore. Like CMC is, I think, the clear like home run hit to be number one running back, but he's injury prone like hell.
Yeah. I mean, you got
Him on San Francisco, if he's healthy all year, will probably be the best player.
Yeah.
But he's
Easily.
always. If you have the number one pick overall, do you really want to pick CMC?
It's weird because it's like it's that.
Because I had him that 1 year and he missed half the games. It sucks.
It's weird because it's like that age-old tradition of like, well, we've always done it this way. So it's like you get the number one pick. It's like, okay, you have CMC, you have Henry, you have Eckler. Jonathan Taylor wants out of Indy, so he and like
his value would probably go up if he goes out of it.
Like,
but yeah, if we could turn injuries off, CMC would be number one
very
on
easily.
San Francisco.
Yeah, that's without a question. I just like
The Colts got what they got. Richardson's supposed to be the quarterback.
Trent Richardson.
That what's wild is how Washington left him, and like it's been a few years, like what 1 or 2 years since he left Washington. He's a 99 and
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams. Oh yeah.
No, I'm thinking about Trent Richardson, the fucking trash
Yeah,
running back.
But Trent Williams of like how Washington let a 99 tackle. Yo, I mean, not to say Madden should influence him, but when you're a 99, that is elite.
Yeah.
And I think they gave him that this year at this stage of his career. So, damn, we had a 99 overall tackle. We just let go. Thinking like, he's getting older. He's probably going to be on the downside.
I mean, that's the thing with linemen, though. It's
Meanwhile, this dude's the best tackle in the game.
Not for Washington. But yeah, so if we're gonna do other league, we gotta get that sorted out sooner rather than later because
I got
it's approaching.
Yeah, we have the Colompton League. I have a league. Juan's gonna have a league.
I'm probably
Everyone always tries to do it the last
of course. Yeah,
weekend you can because there's injuries. As we've done it, we used to do it a week.
Yo, there's
early.
injuries in the middle of the draft.
Yeah.
We've seen injuries.
Yeah, the one that stands out that I can remember is I think it was my brother's friend. We were at Juan's house.
Yeah,
Drafted Jordy Nelson.
Yep.
Then Jordy Nelson got a pretty severe injury,
and he had just drafted him.
Yeah,
like literally that round. By the end of the round, Jordy Nelson was out for the season. It was like,
I want to say one of my drafts recently, like for my more big money league. I think we were doing the draft at Chris's house from volleyball, and he's a San Francisco fan. Someone from San Francisco got hurt. He was like keeping it quiet and drafted him, the backup. I was like,
Like, I mean, that insider info.
If you do the draft too early, that's what happened.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, everybody tries to wait till the last possible second to draft, whether it be the last week of the preseason or like the last Sunday before the season starts.
So now it's going to be the Saturday or Sunday. It would be fun to do it. Like we did it last time, right, on live, or did we record it?
We were recording while we were drafting. Yes.
Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, you have to do it that way. But yeah, in fantasy, one of the big things too is you got to take into account injury. And it's like Joe Burrow's hurt. He might miss. We don't know how much time he's going to miss.
No.
So he's probably going to go lower than he should, and he's probably going to be a beast.
Yep. I mean, he'll go lower because he's going to get overlooked because people are like, oh, he's hurt. They'll forget about him. He'll probably drop to a ridiculous round. You get him, then when he does come back, he's going to light the scoreboard up.
Yeah, and there's I feel like Juan's always the type that tries to get injured players all the time in the draft, but then it was like they're also old, and he's like trying to be like the high risk, high reward, but then it never works out.
Yeah, the high risk, high reward only works if you're getting rewarded, and if you're not getting rewarded, then you're just fucking yourself over.
Like, no one drafted him. It's like, yeah, because he's hurt. He's gonna miss 90% of the season.
Like, no one took this guy. He's out of the league. Like, Des Bryant's still out there. Yeah, he is. He's gonna stay out there.
I will say he did a ton of trades last year.
I don't tend to do a lot of trades. I remember the first year I did my league, and the one dude, Curtis, was pissed because no one would trade. And it's like, dude, just fucking play. Like, I get for some people, the willing and dealing is part of the game for them. But for others, it's not.
Yeah, well, so yeah.
For me, free agency is.
For me, it's like, well, I drafted this player because I like them.
Yeah, that's my thing is, I drafted this person, I like him, but also, like, I'm looking at the free agent market because that's where a lot of my team came from. I picked up because I don't think I drafted Buffalo. I think I drafted New England and I picked up Buffalo. And it worked out to have both those defenses because I could alternate them, and they were both getting me decent points. I ended up picking up Jacksonville's quarterback because Christina dropped him as well. So I picked him up. That worked out majorly for me. I picked up Tucker. That worked out great for me. So it's like, for me, the free agent market is kind of where I do a lot of my moves because it's like, well, I know I drafted some players that may not have worked out.
In my league, we voted and we did for the first time, the free agent bidding. It's not terrible. Basically, it makes it so anyone could pick up anyone. But you have like $100, say, for the year. So if you want someone bad, because I will say this, I don't like how a lot of years the person who starts out the worst ends up with the best team because they got all the best free agents because they were the first in line to do the best pickups. So the way Fab works is it's open to everyone. You put in a bid and you don't know what everyone else is bidding. So, say whatever, Saquon goes down, his backup's available. Probably pretty valuable because now that's a starter. Everyone's going to put in a bid for him. The highest bid wins, but you don't know what it is. It kind of just makes it more fair. I don't hate it. I will say this. It made me not put in as much because I felt like it was more work. So I tended to just wait to the next day because then the next day, if you pick up someone, it's free because no one put a bid in for him. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll just pick up this guy.
It's like, I'll take what's available.
But I mean, I did a few bids, but
like, yeah, I'm not. I mean, that's fine. I'm not crazy about it. I did an NBA fantasy draft once. It was auction. So I had the number one pick overall. I can't remember who I took, but then I didn't get the number one pick because I got outbidded for my number one pick. And I was like, what the? Then why do I have the number one pick?
Yeah, it's
fucking dumb.
I would love to be able to do some kind of combine for the draft order. And it's not going to be, like I said, like I think I talked to you about, if you finished worst, you get the last pick because last pick is good. It's whatever place you're in, you get to pick your pick. Yeah. So, like, say you win it, like, well, I won second. So I don't want to have to take CMC.
Yeah. Like, getting the number one pick is like, ugh.
Or number 12 is good. When I posted that joke post, and I sent it, and you posted it for Colompton. The combine where you had to do the drinking games, then the run. Aaron's like, oh, I guess I got 12th. And I was like, no. If we were to do that, you don't get to come in last and get 12 because 12 is a good pick.
Yeah, it's like having those bottom two.
I think you get a pick
three. It's solid because you get a quick turnaround like early.
Oh yeah, most and Juan's league setting up already. It's all ex Oakland Mills people, but everyone's like, I want the 12th pick.
I mean, it's definitely a high risk because I mean, again, you get 12 and 13.
I feel like 7, 8, and 7 and 8 are the worst.
I get 7
It's
a
like
lot.
towards, I've gotten 8 a lot. It's like towards the back, so you can't plan too well for the first round. You're just left with whatever falls. Like what you think's gonna fall is probably not.
You can kind of,
And then the second
make
round's
it work.
still a space in between, though.
Like I've gotten the 7th pick a lot lately, and I've made it work. Not because of like, oh, I'm a good, fucking draft expert. No, I mean it's like, again, free agency. But I feel like my first like 4 or 5 picks tend to like hit. After that, it gets real squirrely because I'm in the middle, so it's like I'm just watching all my picks go. But like that's where I ended up getting Justin Jefferson at number 7. It was like, okay, that worked out. Although, I mean, he was like the number 1 or 2 receiver. But the thing is, it's like he had a lot of dud games. But when he hit, that shit was fucking magnificent.
Was that in our league? Because I
Yeah.
think in other leagues I was on, he was like 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah. He was.
This year I think he's for some reason I did one practice league. I was surprised is who's predicted highest points besides quarterbacks. Because again, quarterbacks though, even though they're predicted the highest points, there's so many close together that you could get the number 1 to number 10. It's almost like the kicker difference. It's not a big enough difference. But number 1 was Jamar Chase, and I was like, whoa. He keeps going number 1.
And the thing is,
And he had the most points of a non-quarterback.
I wouldn't be shocked by that. I think Chase, Jefferson, I think those are almost kind of interchangeable to some degree. Because Kirk Cousins. I put up a few posts recently. It was like,
I told you I'm placing my MVP bet on Kirk Cousins. So I wish I could do I might do that. I might do the NFC Offensive Player of the Year as well, just to double down. But again, the MVP always tends to go to quarterback. The offensive player tends to not. But who's Kirk Cousins competing back with best quarterback in NFC?
Golf. Probably.
Exactly. Nobody. He's got Justin Jefferson.
You didn't have to say it like that.
I'm just saying. And then when you watch that quarterback thing of how much, remember his head
homeboy
coach.
in Philly.
But who would you pick? I would take Kirk Cousins over him.
I take Philly's quarterback, whatever his name is.
Jalen Hurts. They got Marcus Mariota as the backup.
Well, yeah, for sure, I'm taking him because it's like, all right, well, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. So here's another stat I just saw, and people don't realize who had the most game-winning drives last year. Kirk Cousins, and it was by a lot. He had 8.
Well,
But he's not clutch. He
that
just
one
won
wasn't
8
against
games.
Detroit.
He just won 8 games. It's crazy is when Kirk retires, he's gonna have one of the best all-time stats of all time. Like his quarterback rating is ridiculous.
But it's gonna still suck because he went to Michigan State.
But
So he can go fuck
like
himself.
where people are like, he does get some unfair criticism with Minnesota. There was also a stat of like the quarterbacks that won to the playoffs. What defense was the worst? It was Minnesota. Minnesota was letting up 28 points a game.
Actually, that's one thing that kind of plucks my nerve too. Is like the whole Matt Ryan thing, because he was the quarterback for the team that like had the 2 biggest like collapses. And it's like, oh, it's Matt Ryan's fault. Matt Ryan didn't let up all those other points. He did what he was supposed to do. He got the points on the board. This motherfucker's defense didn't show up. So when people attack, and I'm not a fucking Matt Ryan, fanboy or nothing, but I do find it unfair to say, oh well, those 2 like big comeback losses are his fault, and it's like, are they though? Because like when Buffalo came back against Houston, and I want to say it was 91 or 92. I think it was going into the 92 Super Bowl, so in 91. And Frank Reich had to fill in. And you don't hear anything about the Houston collapse. You hear about Frank Reich charging the Buffalo Bills back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's funny when you don't get the whole narrative. Remember how Minnesota got out last year, too? Huge pressure on Kirk Cousins. Like, Kirk Cousins, I think, last year was, like, hit the most. Like, he hit the worst offensive line. But I don't know if you remember the last play he did. He threw it well short to a receiver of the first down. And people are like, why would he throw it there? I mean, keep in mind, he's running for his life throwing it. It's because the fucking receiver he was throwing to fell down. That was the only option he had.
Well,
and no one mentions that. Like, yeah, he was supposed to go down further, but the receiver fell down.
Well, I don't think anyone mentions it because no one's even looking at it. I mean, and like you said, you're not getting a full narrative. I mean, you get more often than not, people like to look at one thing versus the other. I mean, it's not just football. This isn't everything. This is in, politics. Regular news is like, Sarah sent me a news clip that's very interesting, and I feel like there's more to the story, so I don't even want to pull up the thing yet. That movie Sound of Freedom, I guess one of the guys, not the director or the main actor, I think someone that was involved with the movie, just got arrested for kidnapping. I was like, ooh, that's not a good thing. But then I had to think, I was like, I feel like there's more to that story. But that's a salacious headline. Let's say, oh my God, you had this movie about child trafficking or, human trafficking, and you just got arrested for kidnapping. So that's them, selling a story short. Yeah. Just like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he was always known, like people were saying, like he's not a clutch quarterback. But meanwhile, I think the statistics, like in clutch situations, he's actually one of the highest. And you keep in mind, he was on Washington most of his career. And since he's left, we've not had a winning season. Yeah, we made it to the playoffs with a losing record.
I mean,
what was that? 6-8 that year? We made it to the playoffs.
Don't hate.
No, but I'm just saying, like, and then again with his time in Minnesota, he did his job. He can't help when his defense is horrendous.
I mean, he could go play corner. He could play corner.
And then again, he was like the most hit quarterback last year. But yeah, I like his chances of surprising people. And the coach, the head coach of Minnesota is the former quarterback coach for Washington, so he's worked with Kirk. Yeah. And you saw in that quarterback documentary that he loves Kirk.
I didn't see.
But I think Minnesota picked up another receiver. But they lost Dalvin Cook, but again, he was hurt a lot anyway. They have Madison. Oh, I love. Oh, wait. Now remember, I drafted Dalvin Cook last year. I loved when Dalvin Cook was out because Madison would blow up. Now, when he was questionable and they both played, that should suck. So neither one would blow up.
I think I had Cook the year before. He was my first round pick. He was my number 7, which sucked. But I mean, it worked out for me. Like it panned out well enough. It wasn't great. I think
Reps predicted Dalvin was going to be the number 1 player last year. Oops.
Let's rate this other beer because we've been off for like an hour.
So this one's kind of funny. So it's called Reach Around.
Love it.
And when I tried to get notes, I typed in Reach Around, and I didn't need to see so that. Great. I saw the definition of it.
Look, man.
So it can be various things, but
Oh, I know what a reach around is.
All right. I will say I never participated, and I don't think I need to.
Look, man, you got to live a little.
All right, here we go. So this is Reach Around IPA.
Oh, I thought you were pulling up like definition of Reach Around. I was like, damn.
No, I did because that's what came up first. It was like the wiki definition of it because I forgot to type in beer. Reach Around IPA is a very, I think sessionable. Never heard that word before. Sessionable, easy drinking Indian IPA. This beer boasts a huge hop flavor with a medium level of bitterness at 35 IBUs, in case you were wondering, and showcases copious.
Dude, you're just making shit up now.
Copious. I think I said I added an extra P. Copious amounts of Cascade, Columbus, and Nugget hops. Let's face it. All right, well, here's your line. Let's face it. Everyone loves a reach around.
Fucking right, doggy. Who doesn't?
So 6%. I wrote my score down because we crushed this a while ago. I really like the taste.
I liked it. It grew on me.
The 6%, it's not great, but I like the taste.
I didn't hate the taste at all. At first, I was like, ugh, like I'm not gonna like this. But then eventually, it was like, oh, you know what? This actually,
by the way,
okay.
poured the most foam of any beer we've ever had.
Yes, that is a fact. Them's is facts. So 6. What was the percent? 6 again?
Just 6.
Just 6. Even 6. It doesn't hurt it necessarily for me. Whoops. It does, but it doesn't. I'm gonna give this a 7 even because I did enjoy the taste after the fact. The 6, yeah, kind of hurts. But I feel like I would buy this on some old, like, you know what? I just want to have a different name beer.
I mean, it's a reach around. You gotta.
Yeah. It's not gonna get me fucked up, but it's gonna start conversations.
I gave it a 7.3 because I like the taste. It had a weird street name it was on. Oh, mullet something.
Oh, hold on 1 second. You know, let me pause. I gotta read something real quick. So we'll be back, bitch.
Yeah, I was about to check.
Hello. Oh shit!
I could tell Dante was giving me the rundown. I thought we were recording, but I was like, "Your thing's not moving." We weren't recording.
So I like, but that happens. I start talking about something as if we're recording. It's like, oh no, we're not
Oh,
recording.
the old episodes were always the best when we weren't recording.
Like we'd have like a 2-hour full blown podcast episode off air, and it's like, oh shit, we should get back to recording. But no, I was saying like, before we click back on, so as I look at the show notes, it was like, there's a bunch of fights, and then Trump indicted, and I was like, I do want to talk about that, but it's like, there's not much to talk about. I mean, he's going to trial.
He's pleading not guilty.
Duh. But the thing is, I feel like
He'll probably get a good lawyer that gets him out of it.
it won't be Rudy Giuliani anymore. But I feel like if he gets locked up, he's going to still run. He's already said that.
He's go.
And I feel like him getting locked up, he has a better chance of winning the election in prison than he does not in prison.
So right if he wins, can he pardon himself?
You know he's going to. That's the most American thing, motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about?
I pardon Donald Trump.
He's like, I'm going to pardon myself. It's
Obviously.
like, why? I'd be a fool not to.
I'm the best ever.
Like, I'm the best ever. I mean, my mom told me that
Obviously.
as well. But yeah, I guess a lot of shit's coming out about January 6th, and there's just so much shit I don't know how to keep up with, so I just stopped. Like, I just look at like the big things, like, oh, indicted, okay, cool. Like, let me know when the trial starts. I think they've already got the judge picked out for it, and it's like, ooh, it doesn't look good for him. Like, they better pick that jury and pick it well. Oh, it's all QAnon jury. Oh, that's gold. That's gold. Dude, I hope this is like the OJ trial. I want to watch this shit on TV, on court TV. I'm down. But yeah, last week we had UFC 291, Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Good fucking fight. Justin caught Dustin. That's wild. With a head kick in the second round, knocked him out flat. It was good. It was a good fight. A patient Justin is dangerous. I think they're gearing up for him versus Conor now. And I think Conor beats Justin. It's just, I don't know why. I just feel like he beats Justin. But I feel like Conor can't beat Dustin.
Yeah, I saw something today. Because that was for the BMF.
Yeah.
Saw something today of like Conor wants to get that belt. and then rematch Diaz for big money.
I'm actually kind of over Connor. Like, I'm done.
At
Like,
this stage, I just can't even picture him getting off enough roids to test positive the way he looked.
yeah, well, on the Ultimate Fighter, like, looking at him, I was like, you are a solid 2+. like, dude, chill. And then Crawford versus, I keep wanting to say Pence. Crawford versus Spence. So when we were watching the UFC, a neighbor was over. He pulled his phone up and he had the boxing match on. It was like right at the end though too, like right when he stopped him. So it was like like, I mean, he was already fucking picking them apart. It was just like, ooh, this like I guess this was like kind of a fight people have been wanting for a while, and then Crawford just outclassed him. Like, which I thought Errol Spence, like, just off the little bit of knowledge, I was like, I think he could do this. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Crawford's always a little bit doubted.
Yeah.
Dude might be the best boxer of all time.
Yeah, and that's why I was like,
I don't know why.
Well,
I've done it myself. I'm guilty of it.
and that was the thing. I looked, it was like, his time's got to come, right? Like, I guess not today, champ. And I mean, I didn't see the whole fight. I think I saw like the last 2 rounds. Yes. It was like he just, oh my god, he looked so like just like smooth.
And I think Spence hadn't been knocked down, so I think he got knocked down in the second or like right away.
Yeah,
I mean he looked. I mean he was really beat up. Mm-hmm. I think it was like some controversy. Stephen A. Smith had come out like, yo, he needs to retire for how bad he got beat. But there's
Stephen
more money
A.
to be made.
Stephen A.
I mean, he's gonna say stuff.
Stop
where it
talking. Like,
but
fucking punch.
in a way, what he was saying is like, dude, there's no chance of beating him, and I agree with that.
Yeah,
he might activate his rematch, but people always tend to say they are initially right after. Then when they maybe think about it, some like. And watch the video like, oh, maybe I don't want to do that because I'm going to get another loss on my record.
Well, they always say it when they're fucking punch drunk. They're like, oh, I want my rematch.
I'm immediately, oh, yeah, I could do better than that. Like, you realize, I lost every single round. If I do that fight again, I'm going to have another loss on my record.
Sit down, buddy. You don't want to do this, buddy.
And then, he destroyed him. And I was looking at his knockout ratio. It's ridiculous. He's, 40-0 now?
Yeah.
And Mayweather was 50-0 when he retired, something like that. I don't know. This dude's knockout percentage. Now he owns every belt. I think that was for all 4.
Yeah,
same weight class.
That's just, oh my god.
This dude might be close to all time best. He's been pound for pound, I think, on ESPN for a while. But yeah, for whatever reason, he goes under the radar. Maybe it's because he's not. Doesn't brag.
I mean,
there's always something about every boxer that's a little quirky. Why they get the white boxers get the great white height.
I think he's just kind of that guy. He just goes under the radar because he is kind of just like
get the cocky
humble.
boxers,
He's just like chill. He's like, look, I'm here to do my job. I don't have shit to say about it, which I like. I'm about that life because it's like just go show up, do what you got to do, and then get the fuck out of there. Like,
but yeah, I guess Eminem lead him out to lose yourself.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, yeah, and then also on that UFC card, Alex Pereira, who beat Izzy and then lost to Izzy in the rematch. He moved up to 205 and he fought Jan Blachowicz, who was the former 205 champ, who beat Izzy himself. And the big question was, could Alex handle a fighter who's going to press him to the ground? Now, Jan isn't necessarily a grappler himself. He did take Alex down, and Alex survived. Alex lost the first round because Jan just held him down, and he was attacking, but I think he drained his gas tank with doing so. Second round, he took him down, but they got right back up, and I think you could start seeing at that point, Jan didn't have it in his gas tank to really go for the takedowns. But when it comes to strikers, I think Alex Pereira is one of the best strikers in MMA right now. So to try to stand with him, it's like, yeah, Jan was right. Yeah, just take him down. It's like, this guy doesn't have any grappling, so I should be able to take him down, which that he was able to get him down easily. It's a matter of like putting in work, though, keeping him there. And I think if Alex goes up against an actual 205 legit grappler, I think he would have a little bit more trouble winning that fight. I'm not saying that dude's not a good fighter. I think he's fucking great. But again, when you get into the whole ideal of mixed martial arts and you have to worry about the ground game, if you can't keep the guy, like we saw earlier with the Buchecha fight, if you're a grappler, you can't get your guy to the ground, then you better have some good striking. And if you're a striker and you can't keep it from off the ground, you better have some good ground defense. And I feel like Alex's ground defense is solid, but the thing is, like, you're not going to get points from the judges by defending. Like, you're going to need to keep that fight standing. So hopefully in his next camp, he's working on takedown defense, which it looks like he has been, because later on when Jan was trying to take him down, he started implementing a lot of his takedown defense. But I think also Jan was tired and he's not a natural grappler. He's just a big motherfucker. Because when he fought Izzy was picking him apart too. And finally he realized, like, wait a minute, I had to cut to make 205. Izzy weighed in on the scale eating pizza. It wasn't even 205. He's like, I'm bigger than this little boy. He took Izzy to the ground and just fucking held him. He's like, fuck this dude. I'll do what I want. Alex, on the other hand, is just as big, if not bigger, than Jan. So it's like, yeah, you're going to have a tough time holding that big motherfucker down. But it was an interesting fight. I think because the light heavyweight title has been vacated, I think Alex will probably be fighting against the former light heavyweight champ, who also had to vacate the title. The funny thing about the UFC light heavyweight title is that before John Jones got the belt, that belt was being passed around like, I was going to say someone's mom, but that would have been rude. But passed around like a, like a whore. And then John Jones got it and held on to it forever. And now that he's gone, the belt's being fucking passed around again. Like, I think Jan won the belt. Then Glover won the belt. Then Yuri won the belt. Yuri had to drop the belt because of injury. Jamal Hill became champ. And then he had to drop the belt because of injury. Like, but I think Yuri is going to come back and he's going to fight Alex, it sounds like, is the potential. That should be a fun, interesting fight to see, because Yuri is also a stand-up guy. He's got some grappling, but he's more of a striker. The whole fucking UFC 291 card was actually really great. But all the same, all these fucking fights last week, fun. And then this weekend, we've got Nate versus Jake. That should be interesting to see, because I think
it's funny as Mike Tyson came out saying just like Jake's gonna save boxing, and I was just like, in a way, like you've talked about it, like you not hated, but you didn't like him at first, but it's like he's in favor of the MMA fighters getting paid more money.
Yeah, I think that's huge, because listening to Jared Cannonier on Joe Rogan's podcast, it was like, look, man, UFC treats me well. I get paid pretty well, and good for him. I mean, I think it's weird, because it's like, when it comes to pay, though, it's like, because you got a lot of fighters that aren't getting paid well, but it's like, but you're not on the tier, though. You're not on the level yet to get paid well. Like, the guys that are getting paid well, the guys and gals that are getting paid well are those up at the top. Like, even Ronda Rousey said it in one of her press conferences. They're like talking about fighter pay. And she was like, the reason I'm the top paid fighter in the company is because I put asses in seats, because they're talking about other women getting paid.
Like the running back situation. And it's just like an old episode we did. We looked it up of, again, the elite boxers make the most money because they make the most pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. But the average UFC fighter compared to the average boxer wasn't even close. The average
Yeah.
UFC fighter was making tremendously amount more. Like the average boxer was making like 30,000 a year.
Yeah. Was it that much?
It was bad.
I felt like it was less than that.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Like
like
if you're a journeyman,
I thought it was like 20.
Yeah, it was bad.
Because it was one of those
You're
things
gonna
where it's
have to
like,
work.
like yeah,
You
you
gotta have-
you gotta have a
that's gonna be
second
your-
job.
yeah.
Like you have like a primary job in boxing. It's your fucking
Boxing's your hobby.
yeah, that's your side hustle. Well, because like Mighty Mouse, he was working a 9 to 5. He had to request off to go defend his belt. But the thing is, he was actually getting paid well. But it was just funny that he went back. I think he was like working like at it. Like I know he was talking about he was slinging tires and he had to request off, and they're like, yeah, just take off, dude.
But yeah, so it's wild. The UFC, I'm sure part of the big pay-per-view money is going to be able to pay those lower tier fighters.
Yeah.
Why they can make 100,000. I think it was 100,000.
Well, like the bonuses though too, because they have like the performance of the night bonus, shit like that, fight in the night bonus, and the thing is, well, I mean, one of my teammates, I think he's got 2 or 3 fight like performance bonuses now, which good for him. And the thing is, I know Joe Rogan's kind of against shit like that, and it's like, I mean. I think that shit's cool because again, if you're already like, I mean, again, you're gonna pay better than the mid tier boxers, but still you factor in a lot of these fighters. I don't know what the new contracts are now, but it used to be when they were on that Reebok contract. There are fighters that are getting paid like, hey, here's like 4,000, for the fight, which sounds like, oh, well, that's a lot, for a fight. I think it is. But then you think about all that they have to pay, plus they don't have like insurance or anything. I think that's what Francis was trying to fight for. Francis was like, look, man, I just want fighters to have insurance. Something like work with us. And Dana was like, nah, I can't do that. So Francis went to PFL and he's getting paid. And I find it funny too, because like these other leagues can pay very well. And the UFC is supposed to be the big show in town.
Yeah, I mean, their money's going. It's being dispersed a lot.
So yeah, there are like 500 or 600 fighters in the UFC too.
Yeah, so it's
there
being
is
shared,
that.
but it's like, so Jake Paul is showing like, all right, if you're the main interest, you put it on yourself, this much money. But it's just to put in perspective of like when Pacquiao fought Mayweather. And again, it bothers me still to this day that Pacquiao had shoulder surgery right after the fight, and no one wants to mention it.
Well, I mean, it's again the narrative isn't being completed.
But he didn't want to say that. He knew he needed surgery, but because this is why he didn't want to say anything. Losing that fight, he got 120 million.
Yeah.
120 million
After a loss.
Yeah, and Floyd got 180
I mean,
for one fight.
Conor got 100 million, and Conor at that point was like, I don't have to fight ever again. He chose to continue to fight, but he's like, I don't have to do shit ever again. Conor was buying yachts, like invested in Proper 12, like Conor went off. But I mean, he made the most of that 100 million.
And the fight made 500 million. That particular fight. I mean, it's insane though. Like the amount of money that could be. And so yeah, I mean, I think Jake Paul's thing is it's the demand. So now he's taking out all the extracurricular stuff that could get money, and Nate's probably going to get his biggest payday.
I'm sure he is. Yeah.
So with this fight, it's kind of funny because there was the press conference, some battles. I have 2 predictions. Well, not predictions, but comments of Jake's just bigger and power.
Yeah.
So, but Nate's got incredible endurance. Nate can take a punch like no other.
Yes, Nate's only been stopped twice.
So,
and one
can
was
somehow
or once, I mean, and that was Josh Thompson with a TKO head kick. And head kicks are fucking, head kicks. They're powerful. So, and Jake King throwing head kicks.
Yeah, so if somehow Nate can just get beat up really bad into the last round, because Jake has shown he's gotten tired. Because he's a big dude. He's a muscular.
He's got to
dude.
fuel. He got to fuel those muscles. I think, but the thing is, though, I think lately Nate is prone to just getting hit.
I would, if it's a decision, I'm gonna go Jake.
I think
if I had to bet money, I'm gonna go Jake because of the size difference. I mean, they're not taking that into account. Yeah. And Nate's not a boxer per se.
No, I mean he's an MMA boxer, so he's a good boxer.
Now
for
I will
MMA
say,
standards.
if there's anyone Jake's gonna fight of UFC and just gonna snap and be like "fuck it" and do a UFC move, it's gonna be Nate.
I hope.
Like he'll lose all his money, but it's like fuck it.
Like I'm halfway tempted to order the fight just to see it happen live. Like I honestly think Jake stops him.
I did too. I mean, if I'm gonna bet.
Yeah, if I were putting money on it, I'd say Jake stops Nate.
I could see it go ding decision and Nate taking a beating, but just not going down.
Yeah, I don't see any scenario where Nate wins, but I do.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think Jake wins this regardless, but I do think in my heart of hearts that Jake stops Nate, and it sucks because. I mean, you know me, I'm a big MMA fan, but I'm no doofus. I understand that like MMA fighters aren't boxers. So if you're just doing strictly boxing, a lot of these dudes
I think
can't fucking compete.
Talked about like that he wants to transition to being a full-time boxer.
Yeah, he's mentioned he wants to go into boxing.
He's got the cardio, obviously, which is a big thing of boxing.
Well, I think the thing is, too, I mean, when you think about combat sports, you look at something like, again, he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. So, I mean, if you got the patience and the mindset to go in and get your black belt in anything, not saying it's an easy transition, but it's like you have the discipline to, get really good at another combat sport eventually. So it wouldn't be a far stretch for him to move the boxing, really work towards it, and then get good. But now's not that time, so Jake gonna knock him out. That sucks to say, but he because I feel like
I just can't see the power coming from Nate.
Yeah, well, and Nate's never been a power puncher. Nate's been kind of he's been a what's the fucking word? Like he'll pepper shots the entire time and wear you down. He's always done that to his opponents. He'll wear you down, and either if it's MMA, he'll submit you, or he's just gonna outclass you and get that decision. But I don't see him doing this here because I mean Jake's much bigger, stronger, hits harder. I mean, sure Nate might survive it, but Nate ain't winning it. I mean. And for all we know, to some people, surviving it is winning. Losers.
Come next week, Nate's going to catch him in the right angle and be like, oops.
And that'd be nice. That'd be nice to see, too.
Yeah. Either way, they're getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
So props to them.
That was another thing, too. I mean, when Jake fought Tommy Fury, it's like, here you are fighting an actual boxer. It was like, and granted, he didn't, like, go out there and get embarrassed. He didn't get, like... made a fool of, but still was like, okay, you're beating up on, MMA fighters who aren't exactly boxers. I mean, he knocked out Ben Askren. That's the last person that should be stepping into a boxing ring, period. That guy wasn't even fucking striking when he was in MMA. And now you want him to just do a straight, like, boxing match? Nah. Tyron Woodley, it was like he had a chance because he was a striker. He was a wrestler transitioned to a striker. It was like, okay, and he's got power. But it's like ultimately that second fight, he got fucking flatlined, which is fucking bananas. Just the way that he went out, I was like, oh wow. I guess it's one of them days. So
I think that Jake Paul Fury fight it was very close.
Yeah.
75, 74, 76, 73. Two judges.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty close fight.
I mean,
And Fury's undefeated boxing, but I don't think he fought anyone significant.
not from what I understand, but I mean,
He's got a weird physique for a boxer too. Like clearly not like Tyson.
I mean, I don't know. Like
Tyson.
I think Fury. He's about to fight. Tommy Fury's about to fight KSI in September or some bullshit. It's
That's
like,
weird. Yeah, I guess Tommy Fury doesn't have any. He must not be a championship contender in boxing because he's fighting all these other dudes. I mean, he's undefeated, but he's.
I mean, also depend. I mean, it's probably paydays though.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's like
But
fuck
he
it.
it's weird. His physique's like a friggin' bodybuilder, where Tyson looks like he never even worked out.
I mean, Tyson was like,
But then Tyson's freaking fast, powerful, just body wise though looks sloppy.
I mean, you can make it work. I mean, obviously he's
Boy,
figured
he
it
showed
out.
those heavyweights don't need the friggin' muscles.
No, I mean, well, also, I mean, you look at a strongman competition. You know, those guys fucking throwing rocks around and kegs around.
Oh yeah, I mean the fastest way to get stronger is gain weight.
Man.
And if you gain weight, you're gonna gain fat, but you're gonna get stronger. I mean, you see, freaking the huge, overly obese guys trying to lose weight, and they're like lifting weights. They're just like repping 225 like it's nothing because they weigh 400 pounds.
I mean, it's you know, that's the game. Let's rate this beer. Real
I
quick.
do have our questions.
Oh,
So
well, let's
we
rate
can
this beer
finish
and
with
then
that.
do some questions.
All right. I can't read my writing, so let me pull up the graphic.
You fuck. What else? I guess there's not really much on the board. I've had this cancel culture note on the board for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
If there was anything to be canceled by cancel culture, it's definitely us.
well, yeah, I mean, fuck them. Well, I oftentimes wonder about cancel culture, not even like on celebrity levels or podcast level, but like it's getting to the point now where like it's hitting like personal, like you know, just regular everyday folks. And the thing that's frustrating about it is like, so you mean to tell me because you don't like something, you want somebody to lose the ability to earn a living? And I think that's frustrating.
Somehow I came across a video of Candace Owens interviewing Andrew Tate.
Yeah. So
And one thing
I
that they
just
said,
swiped past that.
and I'll say it's interesting, and both are controversial. I will say there's a lot of things with Andrew Tate people hate, but I actually agree with a lot of the things he's. There's a lot of views he has that I do agree with. Both are, whether you like them or not, are very intelligent speakers. Like,
So I don't disagree with them being intelligent. I think with Candace Owens though, like she's a flat out liar. So it's like, I don't care how smart you are, you're a liar.
in this particular, what I saw so far, she's the interviewee, so she's not really saying any opinion. She's more so like, I will say one big thing they both said was like, it's ridiculous to get judged on something you did 10 years ago. And she was like, she did some things 10 years ago. Like, if you brought up now, it's ridiculous to think she's not the same person. And then Andrew Tate, I think it's been a big thing of like how he used to do some kind of like ran a cam thing online.
Yeah.
And but again, he came from like no money, and it was like he found a way to make money. It's again 10 years. I mean, people don't want to allow people to change.
So I think with Candace Owens, her thing from 10 years ago or from the past is like, it's a whole different thing because she said things like, oh, racism didn't exist until Obama got in office. And it's like, meanwhile, you sued the governor of fucking Connecticut's like family because their son like was making racist comments towards you. So it's like when you say shit like that, it's like, do you hear how stupid you sound? You know, it's like she ran an Obama website and then like, you know, I'm not saying you can't flip. I'm not saying you can't say, okay, now I want to run a Trump website. But it's like this game of like follow the money. And I'm not saying people shouldn't get paid. I'm not saying don't chase that money. I just had a friend message me now. She just got sent something about being a model. And it's like, nope, your clothes stay on. There's no nudity involved. Nothing like that. You're just basically going to like kick a dude in the balls, but you're gonna get paid like well. It was like, then I was like, okay, like get money, son. Like do what you got to do. But it's like the shit that she says that kind of like build this story. It's like just be you, just say the honest shit. It's like, look, man, like I fucks with this dude's politics, flat out. Instead of saying like, you know, these things about black folks, where it's like, bitch, you're black folk, like you did the shit too, and now you're condemning it. I don't know, like I think also the issue I take with her is like, I know older white like conservative voters that will say they'll like take her as the example. Like, why can't black folks just be more like Candace Owens? I was like, well, because I don't hate myself, like for starters. And as far as Andrew Tate goes, I will be honest, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about the dude, other than the shit that I see pop up, and it's like, I feel like I don't want to like this dude. I wouldn't have a conversation with this guy. But I have seen some things where it's like, you know what? He's not wrong in what he's saying. I'm a big person that I'm big on, like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I put up a meme 2 weeks ago, and it's him talking about, like, you know, fighting or some shit. It is like a jiu-jitsu meme talk about this is what blue belts sound like. It's like, oh, I'll just take the gun from him and I'll slap him. And all the people that jumped in the comments attacking this dude is like, and I don't care. Like, it's engagement for me. And I was just like, hey, say what y'all got to say, dude. I don't care. I'm posting a meme because it's funny. The caption that goes along with what he's saying, it's hilarious. But people take like these things to heart. It's like, oh my God, how dare you post something about this guy? It's like I posted something earlier about Haley O'Gracie talking about jiu-jitsu being self-defense. And, you know, I got people jumping in talking about, oh, well, like, Google this person. Like, how about the time they stormed the fucking dojo? And I was like, you stop with all this fucking fake uplifting shit. It's like, stop following me. Like, I'll post when I'm going to post because, like, either I find it funny or I find it maybe to be beneficial to someone else. But if you don't like it, just don't follow me, which is why I don't follow Candace Owens. I don't like her. And I'm sure she wouldn't like me. And that's okay. Like, we have free will. The aliens gave it to us.
If you shouldn't be judged on 10 years ago.
No, I 10,000% agree with that because, like, what are we in, 2023? Dante in 2013? I think Dante in 2013 was kind of leveling out. Like, this time in 2013, not so much, but around October, I started to kind of level out. I was like, you know, I got to bust chills. I got to stop being a knucklehead. I got to watch more porn and jerk off more and stop, like, fucking hanging out. So.
That's Dante's advice.
What? I mean,
don't hang out with friends. Watch more porn.
I mean, okay, look, I love you, Steve. I mean, I've known you for 31 years here now. But I'm just going to say, like, if you're like on a Friday night, hey, man, you want to go to the bar? Well, I did just kind of get this porn uploaded. And I was about to go to town. It's like, I mean, you can always do that later. I could. You're absolutely right. I could. But I'm just saying.
You on a self-help podcast and friends ask you to go on Friday night. What's more important?
I mean,
friendship or porn?
I'm not saying friendship's not important.
You save money at home.
Like, yeah, going out to the bar is less important than jerking off because I'm saving money, number one. Number two, I'm going to feel great afterwards. And number three, like, I'm not going to be like fucking tired. I mean, I'm going to come home. I got like this potential of drunk driving or getting hit by a car.
Some people have that like, postpartum stuff.
The post-nut clarity?
Yeah.
Oh, no, post-nut clarity is real.
No, but some people it's wrong. Like, they feel depressed.
Oh, no, I don't have it like to that level. It's like I jerk off and I'm like, whew. Now look at what I jerked off to. It's like, ugh.
All right, let's rate this beer. This definitely should be called Off the Rails this episode. Which should have been our name from the get-go.
I mean,
we figured it out, episode 116, 115. We figured out our name.
I don't know. We'll either rebrand or get a new podcast. They're like, yo, we got to listen to these motherfuckers twice a week now. What the fuck?
All right, this beer is called Bavarian Pills, Von Trapp Brewing Company. Oh, this is our first Vermont. Let's see where in Vermont. I can name a city. Can you name a city in Vermont?
Montpelier.
This is from Stowe, Vermont.
You didn't even like fucking fact check me on that. You just took my word
No,
for
I
it.
don't believe you, but
It's the capital, bitch.
oh yeah, I remember. You know these capitals.
Suck my nuts.
5%.
Ugh.
It's a pilsner though,
It was tasty.
so I think this has the benefit that I drank 3 Coors Lights in between this one. So I thought it was tasty.
So I brought the wine out because I was about to fucking get fired up, but then I'm just too lazy to pour.
So I wrote down 7.0. I liked it.
So I'm in
I
that
like the
rate. So
taste.
I was gonna go 6.9 because I was like, you
I
know
think
what?
that's good. So it doesn't get in our recommended category quite, but it's close.
I would drink this though. You know, you hand this to me, I'm gonna drink it. I'd probably buy it. That's why it's a
This would
6.9.
be a fun. The Drunken Demon would have been good
Oh my
for
God.
this beer.
I think one of those fucking 9%ers in the fridge is good for the drunken demon.
Yeah,
but you're not feeling it, so I was like, all right, well,
I was.
maybe next time.
I mean, I was beer bonging by myself. The
I mean,
Drunken Demon only.
I want to beer
I was
bong
the
one of
only
the-
one who worshipped the Drunken Demon tonight.
I mean, I would with one of the heavier beers. I mean,
All right, we can
I was
do that
ready to-
before our questions.
I was ready to fucking party with like one of these heavy
It
beers.
might
dude.
help our questions.
What was it? The loose cannon.
I mean, they're canon everything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we're not. Oh yeah, the last. You were mentioning like posts, and my last post, like I did the graphic, and I messed up 3 times. Like it still says Winter's name. Damn it! Gotta
Oh,
delete it.
okay,
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
I forgot to.
Did
put the wrong city and state. God damn it! It's like,
I do any posts today?
not sure.
No, I didn't. I don't think I did. So I'll do tomorrow and Sunday.
All right, so ready for our questions?
All right, let's go.
What are the crazy adventures you want to try in your life?
At this point, I don't want to try nothing. I'm tired. I'm just tired,
Crazy
son.
adventure.
I'm like, I don't want to do shit.
It's funny, is some things I talked about doing that doesn't sound very adventurous. Like one was a lazy river. That sounds anti-adventurous.
It's not adventurous. At all.
Apparently, you can go down the river with like a cooler of beer floating next to you. That sounds fun.
It's not adventurous. It's just fun.
Yeah, crazy adventures.
I mean, if you can't swim, it's adventurous because there's the risk you might die.
I want to go back to Ocean City. That's a little adventurous.
Ooh, he's about to take that dude's leg with him. He got up and ran.
I think we've had some of these similar questions, but again, they might change.
They might change because 10 years later,
What
I'm
is your
different.
favorite smell?
What's my favorite smell?
I think we had something similar.
Yeah, we had this before. And I think I said like apple pie or some bullshit. I don't know. Because I definitely was like, well, pumpkin spice smells good. But
And so I live, you know where I live, near 175. Whenever I drive by Famous Dave's, that wood barbecue smell.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it. Yeah, that's not bad. Oh, yeah, like a bonfire. That's a fun one.
How long do you think you'd survive in a zombie apocalypse?
I think I would actually do pretty well. So what's funny is like I think everyone says I'll do pretty well, knowing damn well we'll all die within 20 minutes. But I watch a lot of zombie shit. I've read all of The Walking Dead 4 times, like every single issue. I think I got a pretty good hold on it. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not afraid the fucking shoot my wife in the head if I think she's been infected. It's not because I don't love her, but it's like if I'm like looking like Sarah, you look like you got a fever. No, I'm good. Like
So
show
what
me
if
your
it's
arm.
like the zombies in 20? What's the other
28
one?
days later.
Oh, yeah. So where they're so fast and it is spread so fast, I almost feel like I don't know if I want to deal with this. Let me just join.
So you know what's wild about that movie, and I was just talking about this with The Walking Dead too, is like both those comics and that movie, the ideal is initially the zombies, but the real fear is the humans because now it's a lawless world. And you saw in 28 Days Later when they met up with the military, they're like, "Oh, you
Yeah, the
guys got
military's
women?
fucked up.
We want your women. Fuck you guys."
But yeah, I think I could last a while because I would be able to hide, but it all depends on
Yeah.
really the situation. Like, are you able to go out and get food without them? If they're running after you like 20 days later,
Well,
then I feel like I wouldn't last long once I'm out of food.
well, the thing is though, you'd have to
So I don't have
legit be quiet when you're out and about. Because that was the thing when they were kind of on the move, they were quiet. But it's like once they made sound, those motherfuckers heard it, they reacted quick. Actually, I'm doing horror in the 2000s right now, and that's my next movie to watch anyway. 28 Days Later. So get with it, bitch.
What is the silliest thing you've ever seen a stranger do in public?
I don't know, man.
The thing that came to mind was the kid that got knocked out at Champions, and his mom stopped the fight.
I don't know if that's silly though. That's
It
just
was kind of
sad.
silly, but we laughed.
I mean, it's terribly sad. It was like, holy shit! Like, I think he died in front of his mom. I mean, he didn't. I don't think. I don't know if we saw him regain consciousness, so he might be dead, especially by now.
Silliest.
I don't know. I honestly can't think of it. I see a lot of silly shit all the time. My kid's silly, so like
I was at the gym the other day, and I had my hat, and I was weaving in and out of people to get to my machine. Then I hit my head on the damn bar, the back pull down.
so
That was
you're somebody's
embarrassing.
silliest moment.
Yeah, people were probably laughing at me. I played it off though. It's like nothing happened.
Ooh, that's a tight triangle. Oh my god, that dude's going out. He's out.
I can't think of anything. What would you do if you only had 24 hours to live?
Jerk off.
To be honest, I mean, if I really honestly heard that, I'd probably not feel too great. I'd probably like text everyone goodbye.
I mean, is it just me or is everybody's on their way out?
I think it's just you.
Oh, that sucks. I'm probably gonna jerk off.
What species would be the rudest if all animals could talk? Oh, by the way, real quick, I saw a funny ass funeral in Ireland, and the dude recorded a message to play out of his coffin when he was dead. And it was like this knock sound. Hey, let me out!
Yeah, I've seen that.
That was creative. Sorry. So, what species would be the rudest if all animals could talk?
I think kangaroos are kind of cunty.
Oh yeah, they're always trying. I mean, that dude that boxed the kangaroo. That's a classic video.
Yo, that dude, yeah, the one where the kangaroo went after his dog and he fucking clocked the fucking kangaroo.
And the kangaroo looked at him like, "What?
Yeah, he was like, "Yo,
You
what
just hit
you
me?
doing?
What is this?"
Like, why you hit me for?"
And then they box. Kangaroos box. What's the rudest animal? I mean, alligators are kind of rude. Snakes are rude.
Yeah, I think snakes are actually kind of. Well, no, I actually just saw a video. I don't know if I posted it, but this dude, he's at his front door, and the snake is actually above his head, and it bites
I
him.
guess it's saying if they could talk.
If they could talk, yeah, kangaroos for sure. Kangaroos
That's a
are
good
legit cunts.
That's a good one.
Like, like, have you seen the kangaroo claw? Like,
Yeah, they're.
let's see what's going on here. So Mikey Mitsumeshi won this, right? But the other dude was like celebrating like he won.
I think if apes could talk too, they'd be pretty bad.
Oh, they're monsters. Especially if you give them some coke. Oh, it's
What's
a wrap.
What's the most creative insult you could think of?
Not anything about my mom because fuck, I'll join in on that. But
I still remember in middle school, we had someone that, we used to do disc battles were like a thing.
that's
People would go back and forth. And I'll never forget the dude was like, he stuttered a little bit. He's like, you big old sack of potatoes. And I don't know why to this day that was just stands out in my mind as, damn, you got called a sack of potatoes?
yeah.
Like, I can't even think of how that would come about. And I was dying laughing. It was just like, damn, that's pretty harsh. A sack of potatoes.
I mean,
Of all the things to be called.
I could think of some worse things, but
It was just like, no, it was like such a bad diss, but I couldn't believe that's what he came up with.
I can't believe that's the one that
And
you're
it was
going
like a
with.
stutter.
I mean, I don't have one myself.
The stutter helped it. I was just like, how funny it was.
I feel like the stutter's the
because I'm thinking of like, what am I? I feel like this dude is like, you piece of shit. You're a big old sack of potatoes.
I feel like the stutter like sets him up for like a fucking rebuttal immediately, but I guess when you get called a sack of potatoes, you can't really come back very well.
I would be shocked if I got called a sack of potatoes. Like, oh, that would just throw me off. Like, oh, damn.
I mean, I just feel like, he's stuttering though. It's like that's
Oh, but the
fair
biggest
ground.
insult, I think I've told this story. Your old neighbor at a party at my old neighbor's
Oh
house.
yeah. I was actually just thinking because his picture just popped up on Facebook recently, and I was actually just thinking about that dude because I was like, I should try to get him on Off the Mats.
But yeah,
Just for regular conversation, but he was a wild dude because he just says anything.
that was the worst insult I've ever witnessed live in terms of my friend's girlfriend walked in with another girl who was overweight. And keep in mind, they're walking into the party that's been going on. So everyone's looking at them like, who's the new people coming in? 2 girls are walking in, and he literally just yells out, who the fuck brought the fat bitch?
That's great.
And I felt bad, like, because this was in front of everybody.
I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, he's a loose cannon.
That was a bad one.
Like that dude, he's the kind of dude that's like, you can't. It's like you got to be careful who you bring him around, because he's a nice kid, but I don't know that the filter thing is a thing for him. And I mean, that's fine.
If you had to lose your hands or feet, I don't know why that makes me. What would you lose?
Get rid of those fucking feet. I don't use them for nothing. I need my hands to jerk
what,
off.
you got peg legs?
Yeah, I don't. They have those like fucking Olympic like spring legs you can run with now. Like, I just have those.
Yes, I mean, and they're definitely more handy.
Get it? Hold on. Yeah, I will keep my hands for sure because I need my hands first off for sandwiches.
I picture when you say this, and I picture you like running after me with these peg legs.
You never seen like the fucking
I seen those spring
gimp person springy legs, like and just like a regular prosthetic.
Oh
leg.
remember
Those are
what was
cool,
the
too.
movie? This modern spy movie
I don't know.
with Essie. What was his name? Exie.
Oh yeah, Eggy.
Eggy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The
The
girl.
Kingsman.
Yeah, Kingsman. She had some knives that came out of her.
Good for
legs.
her. See,
Oh, man,
I'm
she was-
inspired now.
Yeah, she was wild. And then they did that flip kick. Yeah, man.
My kind of girl.
I like that first movie one, by the way.
I tried to watch the second one. I didn't dislike it. I just didn't care about it. But the first one was really fucking good.
Have you created a rumor about yourself just to be the talk of town?
No, but I created rumors about a lot of other people because fuck them.
So I do remember in middle school, I told this little stupid lie of like I played hockey or something. And I was from Canada. No, it was in elementary school. But the girl remembered it 8th grade, middle school. I was like, didn't you play goalie and like from Canada? And I was like,
Like, oh yeah, you're right. I
yeah.
did.
I was like, God damn it. And I remembered it, but I was like, dang, that was like in 4th grade. I said that. I don't know why. I don't know why I said that. Like it was one of those
Kids.
things in 4th grade. Like, why the hell did I say I played goalie? I never even played hockey.
I remember my foster sisters. They were really good artists. And I remember taking some of their artwork to school and saying that I drew it. And then the thing, so there was this one kid, and I feel bad, kind of. His name was Anthony Witcher. Yeah, I'll put his name out there. And he was a really good artist. And I remember bringing in one of my sister's pictures. And everyone's like, oh my God, this looks so good, da da da. Mind you, I'm in 3rd grade or 4th grade at this point. So for a 4th grader to draw like that is insane. That's some prodigy type shit. And I remember Anthony crying because he was the artist of our class. And now I'm the artist, supposedly. And he cried but he had an egghead, and he like sucked as a person. So maybe I sucked as a person too. But fuck that dude, though.
This next question might be the strangest question because I don't even understand it
Let's run
that
it.
we've ever had. What do you want to be in your next birth?
Okay,
And why do you want to be that?
I get what she's saying. You know, like your next life. Get it? Come on, dude. Think outside the box. Honestly, it's hard. Like, I think about this shit actually quite often. But it's one of those things where it's hard to imagine because this is the life you know. Because I was thinking about it earlier today, like being a celebrity or being rich, and it's like rich people who like, you know, kids who have been born rich and know nothing but money, they can't imagine not being rich, and it goes the other way too. It's like, you know, in my mind, I was like, I mean, it'd be interesting to be a celebrity and like being famous and rich and everything, but it's like I can't imagine it because I don't know that life. But I'd like to be, I don't know, like not even like famous, but like someone that does something meaningful that people are like, oh my god, you know, that means something to us. I mean, yeah, people hit BJJ Wick and like, oh, your post, you know, means something to us. Like, bitch, those ain't even my post. I repost from other people. Go give them that fucking credit. I'm just, you know, resharing other shit. So I just want to be a pimp. That's all.
Yeah, I'll
So you want to be a pimp?
What I want to be?
You want to be a pimp? Tell me you want to be a
I mean,
pimp. You want to be a pimp. Everybody wants to be a pimp.
Let's say I want to be point guard in the NBA. You know, I win the dunk contest.
Kind of pimpish.
Everyone doubts me because I'm white.
Eh.
Oh, so I guess I'm white in my next one again. If I didn't think about that, I don't have to be white.
Sure. You be whatever the fuck you want to be. Like, you know what? I'd like to be a lesbian because I like to play with my boobs, and I'd probably like masturbate for hours.
You're gonna be I picture you being the type that plays softball, the catcher.
Fucking right, doggy. It's
Might
either,
have a little facial hair.
I'd either play field hockey or softball because, you know, that's what they do. They in basketball, they play basketball too. You know, they get like. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna go ahead and stop myself now.
Have you been called out at school for wearing something embarrassing?
Probably, but guess what? Fuck them. They can't beat me. Slap the shit out of them.
Oh, I do remember when I moved to Columbia. Apparently, when you had striped socks, that shit was called bobos.
Oh yeah, the Bobo socks.
And people were like, yo, you got bobos? I didn't understand. Like, huh?
You know what's funny is I still don't understand.
You got made. Yeah, but I remember. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. Like, you got made fun of for that.
So,
Or I mean, you get made fun of for like maybe wearing the same thing or something. But I was like, I like the same style of clothing, so
Yeah.
it's like,
well, like that was something I just saw a meme. They were talking about like the struggle, like of being in middle school or whatever. They were showing people with like long socks, but like pulling them way down so it looked like they had ankle socks. And I never understood that fad. It was like, just go get some ankle socks. Dumb.
well, I do remember, yeah, in middle school, being made fun of for the bobos. So I'd fold them that it would hide the stripe. And then later in life, when ankle socks became a thing, my parents didn't buy me any socks. I would fold them down.
So yeah, I think a lot of people did though, and I just didn't get it though, because I was like, I don't understand. But I also was always kind of slow when it came to like trendy shit, because it's like I'm aware of it, but I just don't do it because it's like I don't get it, and I definitely don't feel like I belong in that.
It's funny how white socks were the only options, and white underwear when we were kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk when you wear white underwear,
Yeah.
homie.
And then it's like when the multicolored underwear came out, it's like, oh, why would you ever have white?
It's like, what took you so long?
There's black.
Like,
Same with the black socks. It was like black socks. And it was Michigan.
Fat Five.
Yeah. Once the black socks came, I was like, why would I not wear black socks? Because the white socks always get, dingy. And
Yeah, it's man, I don't know. Like I have primarily black socks, but I also have like I think I'm wearing like some fucking Black Panther like comic book socks right now.
I
But
think once I went black, I never went back with the socks.
like I tend to like on a daily I'll wear like white socks, but I have a lot of pairs of black socks. It's just like because my last job I wore black pants, so it's like what I look like wearing black pants and white socks. Fucking Michael Jackson? No, I'll be fucking touching little boys.
That was a interesting look.
But I mean, but it worked because it was Michael Jackson. He fucking did the moonwalk. In those
I mean, it
joints,
worked
so.
for him, and he was wearing high waters, which
Yeah,
was only cool for him.
yeah. Like Sophie was wearing high waters the other day, and I looked at it. I was like, please do not leave this house. Please don't.
I thought you were about to say you're wearing high waters.
I mean, I can't do that to my kid. Not yet. She's 7. Once she's 10 though, she does that shit. Oh, it's on. Apparently my daughter is going to be. We don't know. Like Sarah signed her up for like some kind of a drama class. Like, and they're going to be doing the Wizard of Oz. So I'm excited to see what that's going to entail. We have to try to explain to us like, go in, just kind of play along with the things and do your best. But if you're not like the lead, fucking chill. If you're not one of like the lead characters, chill. But, just have fun with it. But I'm really excited to see, what she does with this and just kind of having a good time with it. I prefer that she was doing jiu-jitsu and fucking, beating people up, but whatever. Sarah doesn't want her to go down that path just yet. I feel like it's a little late. I feel like she should have been killing people a long time ago, but my wife's like, no, I don't want her hurting nobody. I was like, bitch, don't worry. She won't. She's clumsy. Like, she ain't gonna hurt nobody but herself. So it's all right. Plus, my daughter got big emotions, so the second she doesn't get a submission on somebody, she's just gonna go to the bathroom and cry. Like, yo, the kid is soft as baby shit.
Off the rail.
Like, I want to be honest. I went to sleep at 3 last night and woke up at 7. So what, 4 hours roughly? Yeah, 4 hours exactly. And at this point, my brain is kind of mush, and I've been drinking.
Well, we got 2 more questions. And
There's still more. I counted 13.
Yeah. I thought it was supposed to be on by now. All right, so we'll go fast. In terms of appearance, what athlete do you think you believe you most closely resembles you?
So people told me you look like Champ Bailey or Barry Sanders. That's all I got.
David Beckham, obviously. It's like, no.
I mean, I've been told that a couple times too.
I've been told I look like this one, and it was back in the day. It was like this edgy country singer. I don't know who it is. I wish I could remember.
That's not
when I looked him up, though, I was like, "Oh shit, he does look like me." Because like when he wears the hat, it looked very similar. I have no idea what.
Jason Aldean.
That's not him. Whoever it was, I don't think he's been relevant for a little while. I mean, I don't even know his name, but when I did look him up, it was like one of those things like, he doesn't look like me. I don't look like a country singer. And I was like, oh shit, I do.
Like, I don't look anything like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, what the? All right, I see it. Last question. How many ants would it take to lift an elephant?
Ants are pretty fucking strong.
But to lift an elephant, I don't think that's going to be possible.
Yeah, it is. They outweigh us, like, in
yeah, but think.
They can do it. It would take billions, but they can do it.
I swear, it's just billions.
Yeah, don't doubt ants, son. Have you not fucking watched Ant-Man? Jesus fucking
but I don't
Christ.
see them doing it. I mean, what's the purpose of them carrying an elephant?
Why not? Probably dinner.
I mean, you're gonna need millions or billions of them.
Yeah, it's a feast.
I mean, if the elephant's standing, then it's impossible because they're not gonna get enough on its feet. Maybe if it's laying down, possibly. But it's not gonna happen.
You're such an
It's not gonna happen.
Dude, you're an ant hater, dude. Fucking like, stop doubting them, dude. Like they got this. You're a dick.
I don't believe in the ants. They're not gonna lift the elephant.
Yeah, okay. Well, you don't believe in them until they fucking come and attack you.
Well, one day when I'm sitting in my backyard drinking a beer and the elephant rolls by on its side, just moving across the grass, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, those ants got him."
My first question is, why is there an elephant in your fucking neighborhood?
Why is there ants lifting the elephant? elephant? Where are they taking
I
them?
think the more serious question is the elephant in your neighborhood. You've got to really investigate your neighbors at this point and why they
I'm
just have a
questioning that.
dead
Ants.
elephant
Where
in
are
the
they
neighborhood.
taking the elephant?
Probably to a fucking funeral.
They're just like, yo, we need
because he's dead.
everybody. Come on, we got a project.
Yeah.
When I say everybody, like all of us, like billions of us, we gotta all coordinate.
That's how that
and
works.
lift this elephant.
Ants do that though. Have you never had an ant farm? You know, those things are wild. Watching and like having an ant farm is like being God and watching them fucking party.
Well, I would love to see the elephant
It comes full
floating
circle.
across the grass.
I mean, maybe. like
Man, the ants got him.
I just feel like the bigger question is why is there an elephant in your neighborhood? Because I'm really concerned about that now.
I mean, we both got questions. I
what
got an
other
elephant
jungle-
in my neighborhood.
what-
You're just watching the elephant get carried by an ant somewhere.
Oh, I want to know what other jungle animals are in your fucking neighborhood now. Do you guys got a fucking leopard? Is that a jungle animal? Tigers are, right?
Pumas.
Pumas
Where are the pumas?
or cougars? I mean,
Cougars. They're wild.
Yeah, they wild as fuck. So you trying to put fingers in your butts and shit. It was like, girl, what the fuck you
Oh,
doing?
they reach around here.
Full circle. All right, let's wrap this shit up. I'm delirious right now. I don't even know half the shit I'm saying. So I'm sure someone's like, dude, Andre's fucking off the chain. Like, get that dude more sleep. Fuck y'all. If y'all got any questions, concerns, criticisms, thank you. Thanks everybody for listening. We do appreciate the hell out of all of you. We truly do. If you have any questions, concerns, criticisms, always feel free to reach out to us. You can find me at bjj.wiki on Instagram, steve's at thor.bentley on Instagram. Collectively, we're at the Colompton Beer Club on Instagram. And yeah, like we answer back sometimes. Like if you say something shitty, I'm not gonna answer back. Well, it depends. Like one guy who said something shitty, I told him to shut up. And then we actually had a conversation. So just if you're a dick, sometimes I might talk to you just as long as you're cool afterwards. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. Send some beer suggestions and we'll drink them and talk about it. Otherwise, Steve,
Good soup.
pip pip cheerio.
Hey.
Damn, that shit was dope.